Okay, so day one of our class, it's supposed to be just an introduction, but if we get down to action right away, it's better to create our basic lab on day one and get it up and running so we could be able to understand some of the concepts by doing them actually instead of just talking about them. One student, one server, so that's how the setup is. And then on top of that server, so you're all connected to your server, and there is Windows 2012 on top of that server. On top of Windows 2012, there is VMware Workstation, which is the client-side virtualization from VMware, right? And inside that VMware Workstation software, we will be creating 5 virtual machines. So 5 virtual machines. One is for authentication, for a domain controller, a Microsoft domain controller. VMware totally connects with the Microsoft domain controller. In VMware environments, you must have or you will see that in production environments, always VMware authentication is being taken from, although it has its own authentication as well, but because of the Kerberos in Microsoft domain, and it's cool, it's very secure, and ticketing system is there, so it's very secure. No password travels over the network when Kerberos is involved, and in Active Directory Kerberos is involved. So that's why also VMware connects with Active Directory for its own authentication. And we're going to be connecting to that just like in production environment. When you join any as a VMware administrator, you are given a Microsoft account, right? Microsoft account. So you log into your machine, Windows 10, Windows 7 machine, but that account has full privileges in VMware environment as well. So VMware has that authentication mechanism, and it provides those privileges to even the Microsoft account. And to us always also whenever there's a contract, and when I was in a bank as well. So in my Microsoft account, I could do anything in VMware, inside VMware environment. But you have to first authenticate your VMware credentials with, or VMware components to Active Directory domain, right? So we're gonna have a domain controller. Then there's another server which is member server, and there we're gonna install vCenter. We're gonna talk in depth about vCenter, but for now, a one-liner would be that vCenter is the central dashboard from where you're actually configuring, accessing, and maintaining all the physical VMware hosts, right? So vCenter is that central software from which you're going to handle all those hypervisors, which are so we're going to talk about hypervisor now as well. What is hypervisor? But I'm just explaining my lab now. So with our lab actually. So we're going to install that vCenter as well on member server. So that's why we need one Windows 2012 virtual machine, which is a member server joined to the domain as well, right? And vCenter needs that. It's although you can just have a machine that is not joined to the domain but joined to the domain, then we're gonna add vCenter to the Active Directory as well, so our Microsoft accounts can have full privileges inside the VMware environment on the top level. So we can log in from VMware accounts as well as Microsoft accounts, right? But if you don't have Microsoft at all, then I think in your case you have Microsoft, Idris, you have in your environment Active Directory and Microsoft accounts, but you're Linux expert, so of course you're just totally connecting with the VMware inbuilt accounts. So you're using VMware, or you've been given access to your VMware environment, or you use the Red Hat virtualization?
Most of the Red Hat boxes are actually sitting on a VMware.
Okay, so most of the Red Hat is sitting on top of VMware E6i hypervisor, right? Okay, cool. So, and you get access to vCenter as well?
Yeah, but most of the Windows guys are doing it.
Okay, Windows guys are doing that. Okay.
I'm only concentrating on the OS side.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so now you're gonna join the Windows guys as well. So yes, sir.
Where do we create VM accounts?
VM accounts. So VMware accounts itself, there are some built-in accounts, and then inside the vCenter or inside the hypervisor, both we can create VMware accounts.
Not on the Active Directory.
Oh, we're gonna have Active Directory. So VM accounts in Active Directory, if you're asking. So we are gonna just use our domain administrator account, or we can create another account and add it to domain administrators group, and then add that to the VMware environment as well with highest privileges. And we'll talk about the privileges as well, what privileges we can give and how to actually add Windows accounts to, or Active Directory accounts to VMware environment. We're going to talk about the whole thing and step by step. So vCenter, so second machine is dedicated for vCenter, which is where, this is where our course really starts. The vCenter, how to handle vCenter. Because if you have a lot of physical servers having VMware ESXi hypervisor, you need to handle them all centrally, right? So, okay, and then this is the two machines dedicated for the hypervisor for VMware. Now, what is hypervisor? Hypervisor, one-liner, two-liners. Yep.
Hypervisor is installed on top of the hardware.
Yes.
It's not an operating system actually. It's like it has its own operating system. So
Yep.
through hypervisor we can create virtual machines and we can create virtual environment. So we don't need to install Windows for the hypervisor.
Exactly.
It has its own operating system.
So hypervisor is a code, but people do refer to it. It's not a full operating system, but it still is working as an operating system to some certain level. It has a VM kernel, and that kernel talks to the hardware for the virtual machines that are going to be installed on top of the hypervisor itself. So it's a very small software that we're going to be deploying on a virtual machine or a physical machine, and that's going to talk to the hardware for the virtual machines that are going to be hosted on top of hypervisor, right? We need to have two hypervisors because we're going to be doing vMotion, we're going to be deploying HA, we're going to be deploying DRS. These are all big features that are really required. Those skills are required for you. Yeah?
So for your labbing this at home, do we need two machines? Or
That's the beauty of this. You just need one good hardware, high-end machine. Okay, there's a BBC News. Okay, yeah, you were saying? So no, you don't need two machines. The lab is all created inside VMware Workstation, and that's what we're going to do now. And the good thing about it is that you can even copy this lab to your laptop, to your USB, and create and just take it there and copy in your home desktop, powerful laptop, right? And in colleges and universities, wherever they're teaching, 3 or 4 I know, they are doing exactly the same. The students are just taking that, copying that lab and practicing at home as well. You must have two environments though. One is here, of course. Second is yours, right? And the way we're going to create that, you can easily create it anywhere as long as you have good high-end laptop or high-end desktop, right? So if you don't have it, plan it ASAP, right? Yep.
If I don't want to just copy this lab, I would like to build from scratch on my laptop. So
I'm gonna give you the software, the whole software.
Then I would like to.
Yep. And I have the, I'm gonna give you the download links, or if you have USB sticks, big USB sticks and 3.0 USB sticks. If it's 2.0, it's gonna take forever. But 3.0 USB sticks, sometimes students just give that and that's it. I'm staring at this and students staring at me. Okay, what do I do now? This 2.0. Okay, so it's a lot of software, but we're gonna know what software we need, why need that, why do we need that, and when is the best time to use that, right?
Okay, one more thing. Excuse
Yep.
me. If we are doing VCP6, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about if I am come across 5.5 or 4 in order to have in my job environment?
Yeah, that's always
is
there.
Is this too much different or?
It's not too much different, but there are many features. Even from 5.5 to 6,
Yeah.
there are some good changes, not basic core changes. Just like Windows 2008 and 2012 would have some changes, but not the core changes. Or any other older software, new software. So 5.5 and 6, not big difference. 4, yes, A lot of differences. A lot of differences.
Where we are going to have this discussion on 4 to 6,
No,
where we need a migration, and I
yeah.
hope so it's a progressive migration.
Yes.
So are we going to discuss in this course or a design course?
You know, in the end of this course, there are migration talks. Actually, this course, as you talked about before as well, this course and any other course is normally for those guys who already have experience in VMware environment and who already have 2 to 3 years experience in VMware environment. The course is meant for those. But always this is the case that we are together and many of us do not have a lot of experience or even minimum experience, right? So we have to first reach that level, which is actually in 2-3 classes we reach that right away. So I cannot start from that because they start right away with migration. I mean, like the second, third topic is migration. They expect that you already know that you're already in this environment for 3 years. So migration, right? Let's start that. No, we're gonna do that in the end. So chapter wise, I'm not going chapter wise. I'm going experience wise here, right? And my objective is it should be job oriented. Exam oriented will be automatically added because we have to ultimately give the exam for the job. But it has to be day-to-day experience. You should be able to get benefit and apply that, not just theory, and exam I passed, and when you go there, oh, what do I do now? So we have to do. So it's job oriented course, right? But exam topics will be covered right away. And as you said, yes, definitely we have to do migration. So by the end of this course, I hope we will be ready enough to actually deploy the older, and we're not gonna be like uncomfortable using that technology, the older VMware, vSphere 4, vSphere 5. We could just install those, and because of our environment, and if you have high-end machines at home or laptops, recommended is laptop, but high-end machines, if you have at home, you can just connect through internet from here to there as well, right? If you want. If you have desktops, powerful. Some students have bought servers actually at home, and they can bear the noise and electricity. So you could just connect exactly to that if the server is high-end, right? 32 GB or 64 GB. Till now, I used to say 32 GB. Now, in 4th class of VMware, started telling, okay, 64 GB RAM should be there because we need to deploy EMC software version, and EMC software one it requires a lot of hardware of its own, while the other virtual machines will already require a lot of memory. If you want to use the industry-wide, that's very in the storage industry, EMC is the top name, one of the top names, right? NetApp, EMC, Dell, and then others as well. They have storage solutions. So for EMC now, 32 GB is not even enough. Not just for that machine, but if you add EMC as a storage, this for 5th machine I haven't discussed yet. Here I'm going to be first using storage. Windows storage. I'm going to explain that Windows 2012 had a breakthrough for small environments. If you're doing consultancy in your environment, if you want to do testing for VMware features, Windows 2012 has introduced that sandbox experience. Then first we're going to go that's the easy one, and that's not easy, but I'm saying that easy one comparatively to others. Others are more difficult. This is the easier one to grab the experience, at least the concept. Then we're going to change our storage to either OpenFiler. That's another software that is widely used, but that's for just teaching software. I'm going for EMC, which is a free simulator. It's not a simulator. It's actual software. It's actual storage you're going to use, and you're going to get used to the EMC interface, especially, right? So storage is, of course, one of the crucial parts here. So for that we need higher end, more and more hardware is required now, more and more RAM, more and more processing, and especially SSD hard disk. That really changes the game. Wherever you put SSD hard disk, of course it's gonna give you much better IOPS, input output per second, right? So the better the hard disk, it's not about capacity. Yes, it is about capacity as well, but it's more about speed. So SSD hard disk has to be there for excellent performance, right? Otherwise, now you're gonna see that because our servers, they don't have SSD hard disks. These are used servers, they're not brand new servers. So we are going to upgrade that, but I don't know when that's coming. Our machines here, this class has i7 quad-core processor, 32 GB RAM, and SSD hard disks in these machines. These machines are much better to test our course or do our course than those servers, but those servers still have better speeds. Although these machines also can be compared with speeds when it comes to bigger software. vCenter, when we install the vCenter, that's a huge big dashboard, right? It's the big central software, it's an application server, so it's gonna take longer time to even deploy, and that's the core, that's where the course is revolving, right? So guys, we would be needing 5 machines, 5 virtual machines. You have your HP servers here, and you're all connected to that. The best thing is to go for creating that. So this is everyone's server configured now. So on top of your physical server, you have a Windows 2012, which you're logged into now, and you're seeing that. And on top of that, there is VMware Workstation, right? So inside the VMware Workstation, we have these virtual machines that we're going to create now, and then inside those ESXi hypervisors, we're going to be creating our virtual machines. So it's nested virtualization, right? Virtualization inside virtualization, right? So, but this is the beauty of this, is that you can take that lab anywhere, you can create that lab anywhere, and you will be able to meet not only all the exam objectives, but all the job objectives as well. Job objectives mean that you must know exactly how to do it till the end successfully, and check with the client connectivity that clients are okay or not. In the end, if clients are not connecting, no use of your network, right? If clients are not connecting and users are not connecting perfectly, right? So, but we have to design it that way. We have to imagine it that way, that if it is 10,000 clients are connecting to one of your hypervisors and 20,000 clients are connecting to your second hypervisor, how are you actually plan those virtual servers there, and what kind of memory and what kind of processing you need, and what kind of hard disk you need, and what kind of storage, remote storage you need, right? So all this is going to be first, if we create from scratch our environment, we're going to know the magnitude of, if there are 10,000 clients, oh, we need a lot more than what we're doing now, of course. So yep.
One question. In terms of hypervisor, what I understand that we can install the hypervisor on the server, or the second option is to install the Windows 2012 and then a workstation. Is it right?
Exactly. Normally in production environment, hypervisors are installed directly on a physical machine, right? So if we wanted to do here, then we would have a pair of students on a pair of servers, right? That was the lab before, that you can have 2 servers for a pair of students, but in a pair of students they were not able to learn perfectly. One student was just doing the lab, but the thing is that yes, hypervisor gets installed on top of a physical machine, physical server, right? Okay guys, so for that, so this is the outer environment, and inside the ESXi hypervisor, we're going to be installing virtual machines, and then we're going to be checking all the high availability options and all the features that go with our environment, right? So this is our map, or what we're going to install. One virtual machine will be DC DNS for authentication. One virtual machine member server joined to domain for installation of vCenter. That's where the course revolves around the vCenter. Then 2 virtual machines for ESXi servers, hypervisors, and 1 virtual machine for iSCSI storage. So that completes our network, basic network. Yeah.
In terms of setting this up at home, you still need a Windows machine, right?
I mean, you need an operating system,
yeah,
ISO, and I'm gonna provide the whole thing,
Okay.
all the software I have.
Okay.
So if you have USBs, you can just give me and I'll just copy it for you.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether it is a question I'm asking too early.
Yeah, sure.
Just running in my mind that we are talking about vCenter, yeah? And vCenter is being installed as a centralized brain of this whole control plane, yeah? So what happens if there is a, are we considering here the hardware failure in?
Oh, high availability is one of the main topics
Yeah,
in the
so if
design.
I have got one machine only with me,
Yeah,
how I'm going to test the
high
failure
availability.
of the hardware, which is the cause of this course. I think we are studying here just to provide high availability. Yeah.
Yeah, so this
so
is.
how I can test by switching off my machine that my machine has gone faulty.
Mm-hmm.
There is a
Yeah.
motherboard failure or something else.
Yeah, yeah.
So how I am going to test that in this environment?
In this environment, we are first trying to understand how inside out of vCenter works,
Okay.
right? In the end, by the end of the course, vCenter high availability is a separate topic,
Okay.
and
So
we're going to
that's-
go through that.
That I
yeah.
want to do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it is included.
And the question is very good that yes, if we are depending on this guy, vCenter, this better be highly available, right?
Okay.
And that's a perfect question. Exactly by the end of the course, we will be having two vCenters, and then we're gonna exactly test the crash thing.
Yes.
But we're gonna be first trying to know inside out of vCenter itself. And I wish we had 96 GB RAM on all servers, but there are 3 servers which have 96 GB RAM. Others have 24 GB RAM. So that by the end of the course, I hope that we're gonna be upgrading either the RAM or we're gonna just have other servers, better servers here. So because we need a lot of RAM to do some of the labs here. For that, so at home also you would need at least 32 GB or go higher if you can. Desktops or servers are like $400, $500. Laptops are $2,000, $3,000. But servers make a noise. Laptop. Yeah. So the thing.
Some of servers are really good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, even they don't make a lot of noise.
Sorry, which servers? Correct? Which servers you are talking? HPZ800. So
Yeah.
that's our regular price is $2,000, but I bought a 3 server because I need it for myself for $800.
Okay, no, but they don't create noise as well.
No, it's not out.
Ah, seriously?
Seriously.
No, like define noise. Okay. No. Maybe what's noisy for me is not noisy for you. Yeah, that's
No,
okay. That's
I
not a
know
noise.
that because
Okay.
I went to a couple of
Yeah. Okay.
They have a noise server.
Okay, noisy servers as
But
well.
the Blade is a most of the time it's a noise server.
Yeah. Blades. No, rack servers are also noisy. You have rack servers or
No, this is a
tower servers?
tower server.
Okay, as long as they're servers. Okay, I need to contact you after the class. Okay.
Dell, the R series, the R series are they're quieter than a desktop. I have an R series,
R series.
710. Very quiet. You can't even hear nothing. You don't even know if it's there.
And you can get all the hardware as well. Like if you want to increase the RAM and
Yeah.
SSD drives and everything.
Yeah. I bought R710 with 6 hard drives for 280 and I use.
Oh my God. Okay, I need to meet both of you guys now. Because we need to meet you guys. Really. So really need that information is very useful for us, right? Because we need very good hardware at home.
I go for the client office, right? They want to migrate for the new server.
Mm-hmm.
So like they bought their server. This is a DVR, like
Oh yeah.
the new DVRs, this kind of stuff. The old one they don't need it, right? I got them from them.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. No, we need that model name, so we're gonna. So I'll tell other students as well. They are looking for some good servers which are not noisy as well for their homes and apartments. Okay, guys. So let's just get started now and create our labs and talk about our introduction for the course. But for that, let me just quickly introduce because our labs are gonna be way behind if we don't go for that. Course objectives, first of all.
Excuse me, maybe.
Yep.
5 minutes break.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
It's already a long course.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, 5-10 minute break. Guys, take that and kindly this light. Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, 10 minute break. Then we start. Okay, we're back. Whoa. Yeah, it was pretty boring for Brad. So yeah, we have to still start from.
So I'll give you the USB later.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll give you all the. Sure.
So this one.
Ultimate from. Okay, what is that? No, what's the model name? Oh, 7 Z820. Okay, 800. Z800. HP?
I checked their review.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a workstation. But it's the server, it's just high end. Combines ultimate performance with a revolutionary new industrial design and delivers extreme speed and massive expandability. Okay, good. Hmm? No. Huh? Okay. Thank you, sir. Which one? Oh, whatever you get. Double them? Yeah, small. Thank you. Now, so exam objectives are and course objectives are that describe the software-defined data center. So we're going to talk about that. We already know how physical data centers are, but software-defined full data center, how it looks like, and all the components of that. It's actually whatever you can imagine that physically is available is by software is available as well. All servers, all switches, routers, and disk spaces even are virtualized. Everything is virtualized now. So all you need is a good hardware, high-end good hardware. After that, everything is software defined, right? So we're going to talk about that. Then deploy an ESXi host and create virtual machines. These are the course objectives from VMware. So we're going to be deploying the ESXi host today. Describe vCenter server architecture, very, very important. This is where the course and actually the whole product is revolving around the vCenter. How you want to manage hundreds of physical hypervisors, physical machines where hypervisor is deployed. Then deploy a vCenter server instance or VMware vCenter server appliance. So in that Friday class, we have already deployed vCenter appliance, and now we are deploying that vCenter on top of Windows, which is actually more people use in the production environments. On top of Windows machine, they deploy vCenter, although we can use vCenter appliance, which is a virtual machine that you can install inside a ESXi host. But we're going to talk about in detail and differences between the two and why we prefer the Windows based over the hypervisor based. And many companies are using hypervisor based as well, but you will see that it's much more easier to have it on top of a Windows machine. Use vCenter to manage an ESXi host. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so deploy a vCenter server instance, and then oh, that's for the presence. Yeah. So attendance form. So please sign and pass on. Thank you very much. Use vCenter server to manage an ESXi host. So now that's where the day-to-day task starts for a VMware admin. That vCenter, when you have once deployed, how do you add the ESXi physical host, the hypervisor, one by one? How do you create data centers inside, and then how you create clusters inside, and then again when you create cluster, then you go for HA, high availability features, as well as DRS, which is distributed resource scheduler. These are very, very important features for automation. Many of the VMware admins are actually at some time complaining that there's too much automation. When there is too much automation, you don't need the guys who are automating it. You need lesser people because everything is automated. So that aspect of this job is as well there. But when we deploy vCenter, then we go for the major components, and then we try to go for all the major features. That is why this product is on top in the market. Then configure and manage vSphere infrastructure with VMware vSphere client and VMware vSphere web client. There are two types of clients we can use. Browser-based client, that is more famous now and more used and more encouraged by VMware. And then there is vSphere client, which is thick client and which is a separate installation like a software next finish, and it has its own uses till now. Otherwise, with vSphere 4, vSphere 3, vSphere 5, 5.1, 5.5, even 6, but from 5 version, they were starting to encourage that, hey, go for the browser-based client because of the cloud, vCloud. VMware vCloud is there also, and you can just collaborate on the on-premises data center as well as the cloud data center that you have. So that all could be available inside the vSphere browser-based web client, right? But vSphere client has its own uses still, and it's very useful wherever your web-based client is kind of giving you issues and problems. But web-based client is more encouraged by VMware, so many of the advanced features will be available, will be applicable, or will not be grayed out when you try to implement those features inside web client. And when you try some of the few features, advanced features in vSphere client, there might be that message, or those features will be grayed out, and the message will be go to the web client and use that there. These features are not supported in this thick client or the vSphere client. So that's where you will say, oh, okay, so web client that is, right? And then there are browsers. Web clients, Internet Explorer needs more add-ons, is not a very good experience in Internet Explorer. And web client in Google Chrome and Firefox, good experience. We're going to use Google Chrome, and we're going to use Internet Explorer and Google Chrome, because in some environments, if you go there, they may not allow you even to deploy Google Chrome, right? Maybe for security reasons, and the company policy is just not there, so they just won't allow that, right? So Internet Explorer, we're going to use that, but mainly we're going to work on Google Chrome, because you're going to see that it's much more it's perfect to use that there. Otherwise, in Explorer, you need more add-ons. Web client, yes, that's how we connect to vCenter and our ESXi hosts, right? Now, then course objective is that configure virtual networks with vSphere standard switches. So there are vSphere standard switches and then distributed switch. Now that's where we're going to be talking about port groups and all the ports that VM kernel port and other ports that, and we're going to be doing some type 3 or 4 types of labs to really check all the features of standard switch, and then we're going to go for the vCenter based distributed switch, which actually controls all the standard switch if you decide to put those standard switches under the control of distributed switch. But
excuse me, are
yeah,
these switches as a separate thing or something virtualized within the?
totally virtualized.
Totally virtualized.
This is just like software.
Okay.
Click, and it's configured.
You are creating something within.
Oh yes, it's all software defined.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be playing a lot with those switches and the distributed switch as well, with all the features that we can physically deploy here. So use vCenter server. Then the next objective is vCenter server to manage various types of host storage. So that's where then VMware vSphere VMFS, which is VMware file system, NFS network file storage file system, which is for Linux. We have Linux experts here, so we can just confirm right away from there. So virtual SAN is also very cool feature introduced, and then virtual volumes. We're going to be going in depth with that. Virtual SAN is that you So SAN is cannot be afforded. Is not affordable by small to medium-sized companies. And small companies or medium-sized companies must have told, hey, asked VMware, okay, if you don't have a solution for us that we cannot afford, so we have to go to some other vendor. So they say that, okay, vSAN is one of that, virtual SAN is that feature. It does much more than that, but also you don't need to deploy an expensive SAN solution. If you are deploying vSAN, it's going to let you use the local hard disks of your physical servers. That's one of the ideas of for those companies, and it's still going to be highly available, and still going to be. So first we're going to try the remote storage, we're going to try the local storage as well, so we could know the difference between the two, right? So virtual SAN is a very cool feature for small to medium sized companies as well as large size companies. Virtual volumes is that whatever type of disks you have in the storage, it doesn't care about that. It's gonna create a volume on top of 2 LUNs, 4 LUNs, 5 disks, 6 disks, SSD disks, or 10 disks. It doesn't care about that, what's below. It's just going to create a full volume, dynamic volume on top of that, and then you can just play with the volume, expand it, shrink it, contract it. So it's up to you, but it's very dynamic feature. So that's very cool feature, also introduced in 5.5 and 6, but mostly in 6. We're using that. So manage virtual machines, templates, clones, snapshots, that's day-to-day use. As a VMware admin, you will be given this task all the time. Hey, create these virtual machine, create a gold image for that virtual machine, create templates for that. It's like a gold image in SCCM. Clones and snapshots. So we're going to be playing a lot with that too, and try to just understand the concept, basic concept behind that. Then there is VApp, that is a feature of VMware as well as in Hyper-V, and there VApp is all about grouping the virtual machines together. Grouping them together, you want to start them together, restart them together, shut them down together, and sometimes the applications are there are 4 virtual machines hosting the same application. So you don't want one machine to restart without the other machines knowing that. So there are many uses for that, but VApp is all about grouping the virtual machines together and then giving one task, second task, third task to those group of machines, and they're going to perform that task together, right? Okay, so then describe and use the content library. This is VCP6 or vSphere 6 feature, where the only purpose is that you have a centralized, we can say, file server. So you can just upload all the software that you need, VM templates that you always refer to for creating new virtual machines, VApps for grouping the virtual machines, ISO images that we really need for Linux operating systems, for Windows operating systems, ISOs, right? So we're going to be needing those. We need to have them available on a network somewhere so we could easily access them even across the branches. You're sitting in Mississauga branch and this content library is in Toronto branch, so you should be from within the VMware environment able to access all the content in the content library. So that feature was before available if you have Linux shares, NFS based shares, and from that shared folder, if they are available on the network, you can just access them. But now within the VMware environment, you have kind of a file server, we can say, where we can just access all those ISO images and scripts and whatever we need over the network, right? So migrate virtual machines with VMware, vSphere, vMotion. One of the top features of or top selling points now. vMotion is also there in Hyper-V, which is in 2008, and 2012, which has improved a lot. In industry also, they're saying, okay, do you know VMware as well as Hyper-V? So these two are coming simultaneous now in many of the job requirements that I've seen, and we keep on seeing those job requirements anyway. So you will see that Hyper-V and virtual, the VMware. So vMotion is that a server, a virtual machine that is hosted on top of a physical hypervisor. Now that hypervisor has some problem. There are hundreds or maybe thousands of end user connections made to that virtual machine. So there are hundreds of clients connected, thousands of clients connected to that machine, and it's on top of the physical server. Physical server goes down or is not performing well, you can do a planned live migration of that virtual machine to another physical server, while the hundreds of connections have no idea that the whole machine is actually traveling over the network, and then it went to another physical machine on top of that, and client have no idea. It just went like this, and you're good.
Migration of the instances, right?
Instances, not the storage. Yeah, you're right. So migration of the instances, this is just the memory based whatever transactions are going on in the memory, as well as the configuration of the virtual machine, but the storage is not moved. We can move the storage as well, but that's we can just talk about that topic in detail. But the good thing is that end user never knows, and that's the main thing. End users must not have any kind of bad experience on your environment when they're connecting, as long as they're connecting and whenever they're connecting, right?
Is there some sort of mechanism that alerts the admin or the decision maker to move it or not?
Oh yes.
Within that?
It's pretty sophisticated procedure, and they have covered all the points.
I mean, is it a separate thing or within that environment?
It's within that environment. After vCenter is deployed,
Yes.
then we can do any type of those things, and within that VMware environment, we can do vMotion and just change the machine, and
So
even
it gives you alerts that it is required, yeah?
it give you alerts. There's a very good alerting, and there's a automated procedure as well. It's up
Okay.
to the admin that you can just click it to automated mode.
We can schedule it, like after 12
Yeah.
Instances will move to that.
Yeah, we can schedule it, we can plan migrate it, and then it could automatically migrate if there's a disaster, right? So then how much downtime is there? That's the main thing. Sometimes there are some procedures, there's a downtime, and how less is the downtime, and there are some procedures which is no downtime at all, right? So all those procedures we're going to try, and now in VCP6 there are much more improvements that the virtual machine not only can travel within the branch to physical servers, but across the branch or the WAN to another branch, and then on their physical server, and even intercontinental travels if your WAN bandwidth really supports that. But it supports that. The companies were saying that, okay, we have a very good bandwidth, and whatever you require as a requirement of traveling a virtual machine with all the connectivity with the end user intact, it just goes and moves to the other branch. This is not very unusual. Exchange servers we used to deploy, and all the other servers we used to deploy. If we deploy a pair, one active one is on the one branch, and DR branch has the other one. So and we could just deploy, do the DAG or database availability groups. A database could be moving from active to passive over the WAN with the client connectivity. Clients not even knowing what's going on. But now the full virtual machine can do that, right? But okay, so then there is vMotion to migrate virtual machine storage as well. So virtual machines have their virtual disks as well, right? Virtual disks are still a software, but the disks have to be on top of a database or remote storage, which is called data store in VMware. So on top of data store, you can just move the disks, virtual disks as well, from one data store to another, but that requires a lot of time. If the virtual machine hard disk is 80 GB, good luck with that, right? Or 40 GB, so it's all depends on your WAN bandwidth of if you're traveling across the branches. Otherwise, local bandwidth also, you have to really consider if the size is big. For P2V as well is the same case, that you must know that physical machine, how much data is there, how big the disk will be created on the virtual site, and does your LAN you really support that. Plus it should not be a peak hours, of course. It should be not busy, your LAN, right? So we can vMotion the machines with client connectivity, as well as the hard disk, which is the virtual disk of that particular virtual machine as well, with client connectivity and without as well. Of course, without is easy. And then monitor resources usage and manage resource pools. Resource pools, just one liner for that is that you could just reserve some of the processor, memory, and hard disk especially processor memory for virtual machines. Or this virtual machine cannot go, maximum is this much memory, 64 GB it can use, and minimum is it should not go less than certain amount, or 32 GB it should not go less than that, and maximum it should not go above than that. So some virtual machines at one time, if there are 100 users connected at once, suppose 1000 users are connected now, so it will at once requires a lot of processing, lot of memory, lot of IOPS, the input output per second from the disks. At that time it needs a lot of memory. It might need even more than 64 GB. So the alerts will come to you, and then you have to either do a manual intervention and give it more memory, or you can just enable the DRS. DRS will automatically grab the memory from other virtual machines which are not using it at that time and give it to that machine which really requires it at that time. And as long as it requires that, the DRS will provide that memory. That's called ballooning. And then when the virtual machine doesn't need it, then it will give that memory back virtually to the other machines from which it took that memory or borrowed that memory. So, and that's automated, that's manual procedure, that's semi-automatic as well. So there are 3 stages there as well. You could just put it on full automation, and the memory will be balanced automatically by the DRS. So it's fully automated then they don't need humans. Okay, but still humans are always needed, right? Okay, then there is that we realize this is new in VCP6 Operations Manager to identify and solve issues through analytics and alerts. So just like Microsoft has SCOM, System Center Operations Manager, there is that vRealize here. There are operations managers, vSphere Operations Manager is there, and then vRealize is there as well for automation between on-premises data centers and cloud. So cloud and on-premises, you want all the collaboration, automation between day-to-day tasks, you use vRealize. There are 2 exams that are here, Foundation and VCP6 Professional. You will have in Foundation also, it's more like a marketing one, and you need to know a lot of products, and not very technical, but technical in depth is with the VCP Professional exam, right? So in marketing one, vRealize questions are a lot. So and so the Foundation exam, you can give it anywhere. It's unproctored, right? You can start at home right away as soon as you get the voucher, and it's $120 for a Foundation exam, but with voucher it's going to be $34, and you can give it anywhere, and you can have 6 tries with the voucher. You can use voucher 6 times, and it's going to be 6 times $34, right? But if you fail first time, but most of us do fail first time because they're tricky a little. Then VCP6, you'll get a voucher that is for 3 times. You can use that voucher. So 3 times instead of $225, you can give $75 only, right? 3 times. So voucher can be used 3 times, and voucher can only be used by you. If they discover you gave that voucher to someone else, your exams will be, and you will be banned for some certain time. So you cannot give those voucher numbers to anyone, right? It's better for your own good. Okay, VMware guys are much more active than Microsoft guys. So okay, manage VMware vSphere high availability and VMware vSphere fault tolerance. Very important. High availability, if you lose a physical server and still you don't lose the virtual machine. And fault tolerance is 24/7 that machine's copy is being active passive in the active passive form, right? So fault tolerance actually need a lot of memory and a lot of hardware resources. That's why we have servers here, and that's why I'm asking you, please get a very good hardware, and you're gonna do all the labs smoothly and perfectly, right? So high availability features for physical servers. Now the even that comparability range has been increased, but minimum 4 physical servers, and one of them is always on passive. All 3 are active, right? And then if one goes down, the resources of that one are distributed among the other 3. Fault tolerance, 1 virtual machine. Oh, this virtual machine is very, very important and critical, and thousands of connections are made there. So create a exact passive of that on another physical server, and the exact copy till the last second of any changes going on are being made there. Copies made there on the second physical server for that virtual machine, fault tolerance, right? So fault tolerance, we can enable high availability for server-based server loss. If you have, it's going to tolerate 1 or more in VCP6. vSphere replication and VMware vSphere data protection to replicate virtual machines and perform data recovery. So there are disaster recovery as well, and replicate virtual machine across the. So if you have a virtual machine and you want to have a replication across the WAN, so that means you need to have very good bandwidth, right? If you lose connection with your branch, so you can then have that virtual machine still activated on the other side of the branch, on other branch actually, not other side. Okay, and data recovery, we're going to talk about that, go through some labs there. vSphere distributed resource scheduler, that's what I was talking about. DRS, that handles automatically. There's automation level and then there's manual level, so you can just tell DRS what to do and then keep an eye on that. Some level of automation is there up to full automation. You don't you don't have to be there, and the memory and processing and other resources will be taken care of by DRS itself for all the virtual machines there. It's very good, and we're going to check that. So we're going to try to take out the machine, or we're going to try to increase at once the requirement of memory and see if DRS can actually make it available and the machine doesn't go down, right? And then distributed switches to improve network scalability. So it's all about scalability. Distributed switches are deployed on the vCenter level, not on the physical server level. Physical server, the virtual machines you're going to deploy, they're going to have standard switches. And we're going to talk about that, we're going to play with that. But distributed switch is on the vCenter. This means that this is going to just take care of all the standard switches, and you want to change any configuration, you just make a change on the distributed switch level, and it's going to make changes on all the standard switches as well, right? So that's going to be a little tricky or complicated, but we're going to do that. We're going to play with that too. But you can see that it's the higher level switch which can just control all the standard switches, right? And it's a policy based. You can just put the policy and all the standard switches are supposed to follow that. Then there's vSphere update manager that we can just update with all the latest updates for VMware. You have to install that update manager there, and then you have to be careful about when the hosts are restarted after the updates, and they are highly available as well. This is the same task when you update your Windows machines or Linux machines, and they have to be highly available as well, right? Okay, there's a lot of yawns detected in the class, so let's get down to action now. So, so this is okay, man. So sometimes I'm actually counting yawns as well per student. So, so 3 yawns, yes sir, 4 yawns there, 2 yawns there. Oh, you're about third one. That was third one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, anyway, yeah, listening gets boring, I know that. So hands-on time, guys, and that's where we start action. So everyone, if you are on VMware Workstation, everyone there, are you able to see and turn on your VMware Workstation? So, okay, so
Oh, I didn't mean that.
no. It's like your eyes are very red. So
Okay. Well,
they match your shirt now. Okay, you're listening. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So everyone on this screen. So what's our plan right now? I'm just gonna quickly create that. So first, sir, we need to have 5 virtual machines, right? But we're gonna go first one by one and then simultaneous as well. I don't want to confuse you as well. What's going on and where? We are all having a technical background, so that's kind of a relief. So first of all, we need to have a new virtual machine with an OS on 3 of them, which is okay, I should have written here as Windows OS. So, and here as well Windows OS. The software are there as well. I'm just giving you a plan here, whatever we're about to do. Windows OS, and then there is ESXi hypervisor, so we're going to deploy hypervisor as well, and hypervisor here as well, ESXi, and the naming is VMDC here For the Active Directory, we're going to install there, and then VC for virtual machine vCenter. This machine will be named like this, and VM storage. That's where we're gonna. This virtual machine will be actually dedicated for storage. First, we're gonna use the Windows storage. Then we're gonna go for non-Windows storage as well, right? So, and these are then ESXi01. ESXi is called hypervisor. Hypervisor name is ESXi, and this is ESXi6. So this is the VMware hypervisor version 6, and this is ESXi02. So I'm just giving you the names, and now the IP addresses for all the machines that we're going to give. It's 192.168.200.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. There's that imaginary gateway here. We just need to give it. Right now we don't have a gateway. 50, and the preferred DNS here is 192.168.200.1. So this is the IP address for the first machine. For the second machine, so you can just when it's done, you can just take a picture of that as well, or just picture it in your mind, or use your smartphone. And VM storage IP address is 3 here. And for ESXi, I should have put the machines a little further. So for ESXi, our IP address is 4, and all the other rest of this configuration is still the same. For hypervisor, second hypervisor, we're gonna have 5 as the IP address, and the rest is exactly the same, right? Okay, so this is the naming is there, and the IP address is there. What other roles everyone is playing? So this is your DC or the domain controller with AD-DNS will be installed there. AD-DNS. We also need to activate the machines. Activation will be done there. Firewalls off, and power options. So we need the lock and log. So power options. Power option. I'm just gonna explain what is that. So this is the role. Active Directory. First machine is Active Directory. Second machine is just a member server, and later we're gonna be installing on that vCenter. So second machine is a member server, and we need to activate that. Firewall off, power options as well. And third machine is also a member server. Fourth machine is a hypervisor. So this is ESXi hypervisor. We need to learn how to install hypervisor as well, and the software is there, and its configuration is different, of course, from the Windows. And so the roles are here, hypervisors, right? IP addresses, names, and the role they're playing are there. Okay, this machine I did not put actually the role here. That's gonna be the vCenter, and this is gonna be the storage, right? So storage. Okay, now this is the configuration. Now we're gonna try to configure the whole thing. If you want to take a picture of that, it's okay. Otherwise, just remember it. If you put it down in the car, in your notebook, it's also okay. Just try to remember that for reference. I'm gonna be coming back and forth to this one, and we're gonna just follow this configuration and create it quickly. So, all right. So it. Oh, okay. Let me know if you want me to make a some kind of style or something. And I'm gonna email that too. Yeah. Yeah. And it's in the video, but right now he's saying, but that's right. So I'm just gonna okay. So I'm just gonna email that as well. The paintbrush JPG file. You can just open that as well. Okay, so D drive, PTU, academies, oops, Netplus, 7, basic lab, JPEG, save. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly email that now. Resuming. So guys, excuse me. So if you have, if you're on, actually I can't be on any other server and create that because those other guys are not there. So which servers are not being used right now? Anyone has 42? No one has 200.42 IP, 100.42, right? No.
42, I got the 42.
Huh?
42, I got the 42.
Oh, you got 42. Anyone got 41? No. Nobody has 41. Actually, I have that here as well. 41. Yeah, nobody's 41. Cool. So I'm just gonna connect to 41 so I could show you the exact environment there. Okay, guys. So you're seeing the server like this, and let's get going with our installation. Open session with parameters, full screen or not. Okay, so let's just start this VMware workstation. Oh, did I resume that? Yep, I resumed that. So VMware workstation started by everyone. Now it's going to be a little tricky for you that you know, there is Windows 10 you're logged into in this physical machine, and then you're remotely logged into Windows 2012, and inside Windows 2012 then you have this VMware workstation. So that's a virtualization after virtualization. So that's called nested, that you virtualize something and then virtualize inside that something as well. Okay, everyone sees that empty screen here, right? So before that, okay, I'm gonna put it on magnifying glass as well, like this. Now it's even better, right? So if you're on your screen machine, do you see a yellow folder below or the file explorer? Oh, sir. So file explorer, and then we open that, and I clicked it, and one day it's gonna open that. Seriously, open? Oh yeah, you. Thank you. Oh, 3 times it opens. So do you see C drive here? Do you see software folder inside C drive? Right? So everyone sees that? Software. So now all the software are here. If you see that server, you know, that 9600, everyone sees that. This is the ISO of Windows 2012 R2, right? This is ISO. Then this Chrome setup here for Google Chrome. Later we're going to use that. And VCS is the appliance software for vCenter that we're going to later install. Right now our use is this Vmware. I think everyone sees that, right? So Vmware, and later this is the VIM setup for the vCenter deployment on top of Windows 2012, right? Later also we're going to do that, but Vmware is what we need, and 9600, this is the ISO of Windows Server 2012 here, right? So if these are here, you can see the path here, c:\software, right? So minimize that. We know the path on that Windows 2012, right? Everyone knows that, right? So minimize that. What we need is to create the virtual machines. So everyone back to VMware Workstation. Everyone there? So VMware Workstation is that client-side virtualization software that you can use at home as well. And you want a copy of that VMware Workstation, I can just give you now, and you can create the environment at home with all that software that's here. This is all, you know, trial versions, right? You can just deploy the lab even today. So create new virtual machine here. Everyone there? Let's just click that. There's that wizard coming here, the typical installation. Let me know if I'm going fast. Stop me, and I'm gonna slow down. Just let me know. Don't miss any step, right? This is basic lab. If basic lab is not good, the more complicated lab will have big problems, right? So make sure the steps are exactly the same. Yeah.
My VM already created. Everything's created. Do you want me to remove?
So when you're creating your virtual machines, you have to name them separate. These are somebody else's. I should have given you a separate account. Which IP are you on? 22. Okay, just zooming now. Okay, so let me know. I'm not gonna go fast, but please stop me. At my own pace, I tend to go faster than, and I don't realize that, oh, it's too fast for us teach. So just stop me there, right? Yep.
I cannot open the software receive file.
Needs administrative credentials.
Where? Really? Oh, which software C drive are you on? Is it this physical machine, or are you remotely connecting to the server? And you are connected with user 2?
Yes.
Because you don't need the permissions for that.
Yeah, normally,
So user 2, right?
yes.
Everyone else is able to open the software folder? Yeah, you all see the software folder, right? You saw the software folder on the server. So it should be there, right? And you're able to open the software folder. This means that just let me know if you need extra permissions for that, right? So if you need permissions, that's not, oh, from the virtual machine, maybe you don't need that. So let's try with that virtual machine. If not, then I'm gonna come to your machine. So we are all able to open that, right? So everyone on this page, let's go next now on typical. Now, what do you see here? Installer, disk, image file. So we're just gonna browse to the C drive and to the software folder. Browse to the C drive. This is on the server side, right? So this PC, if you see that, then go to the C drive, then go to software folder here. Now you should be seeing that 9600 WinBlue. If that link is there, what happens? It asks for password? Administrator. You're kidding me. Oh, okay. So double click that, guys. I'm coming to. Are you able to see that R2 detected here? R2 detected. Everyone should be able to see that, right? If you're able to see that, Idris, you are able to see that?
Double click it.
Browse. You can go to software, C drive. Idris, you're there?
Is there now?
Is there now? Okay. 9600 here. Double click that. And it should look like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next. I'm coming.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Just back. Please.
Yeah, back.
What is this? I will install operating system later. What does it mean?
Oh.
Why we use this?
So we can use that if we want to deploy from SCCM or WDS over the network and OS, and you want this virtual machine to be totally empty right now without an operating system. So this virtual machine is just like any other physical machine. So this virtual machine, when we are creating, it's like we are going to the shop, computer shop, and we are buying a hardware only. So this is the virtual version of what we're doing. So we bought a hardware and we are selecting that this is the operating system that will be installed in this virtual machine. But this virtual machine is just like if you go to the shop and buy an empty hardware with empty disk and RAM and processor.
Can you go backwards? Or just go backwards?
Yep, yep. Typical.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next, and then this is it. Yeah, for Windows you have to a little, more familiarization, but there's a video as well, so you will be okay. And I'm doing the demo as well. So. Okay. So yeah, according to the JPG, it should be VMDC. So next, and it's VMDC here, right? That's the first machine, right? And it's creating a folder for that in C drive as well, because it's a virtual machine. So that's the next screen, VMDC. Okay, so I'm coming there. If it's VMDC, guys, so just type it VMDC like this. Let me know if everyone there. I'm just gonna quickly give indication to that. Hey guys, so let's just get going. We have to be a little patient. We have to take everyone with us, right? But we're gonna get used to it, because there's a huge amount of steps that we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be our, we're gonna get used to it. It's gonna be a routine. So VMDC, everyone did that?
Yeah.
Okay, next. Idris, done that?
Yeah.
Okay, next. And then there is that hard disk. So this is just like in the shop, you're shopping for hard disk and you're saying, oh, I want 100 GB, actually 1 terabyte nowadays. But here, if you were in the shop, you would be going for, oh, it's 60 GB. No, I want 100 GB. So this is a hard disk space that we are giving, and it's using thin provisioning. That's a new terminology for some of us. What is thin provisioning? Anyone already knows that? Thin provision is? So thin provision is that if I give 100 GB here and your physical disk on your server, suppose it has 50 GB space left, it's not going to occupy the whole thing. It's going to occupy only what you install on top of it, right? We're installing Windows 2012, that's going to take like 5 to 6 GB. So even if we give 100 GB here, it's thin provisioning. It's just going to start with whatever you install. It's not going to take over the whole thing, right? So 100 GB, let's just put that there. This is the maximum it's going to go, right? And store virtual disk as a single file. So the virtual machine that we are creating now, it could increase the size up to 80 gigs or 100 GB even, if we start installing a lot of stuff on top of that. But when you start copying over the network this machine, it might drop the data, right? Because of the bandwidth constraints or something. So if it's 80 GB machine and it's just a single file here, if you choose this option, if it's a single file, right? So that's not a good idea to have a huge one single file traveling over the network. Then it might drop the data at any time, right? Because of the bandwidth. And if you do this, split virtual disk into multiple files, this means what? The virtual machine will be divided into 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB files as much as it's increasing. As soon as it's increasing, as long as it's increasing, it's going to be 4 GB, 4 GB. So a chunk of 4 GB file over the network copying is easier. It's not going to drop data. It's not going to drop packets. And one big file you cannot copy. So it's all about portability of this virtual machine and the next virtual machine. Portability. If it's small chunk of files, you can copy over the network. If it's one big huge file, you cannot, or it may not copy over the network at certain times, right? So let's stick to the defaults. Split virtual disk into multiple files, right?
And if there is a loss of data in the communication to the WAN, when the system is restored, the link is restored, it will start doing it from
Again.
the point, no, from the initial point.
Yeah, from again.
So this means that it's
Start.
connection oriented.
Yeah, it's not connection oriented, or you can use that third-party software that chunks of packets and data, it just copies over there.
Okay.
If you're copying just basically,
Did you give a sense of 100?
yeah, 100. I can put it magnification on 300 GB. Now it's even bigger, right? That's good.
So,
Yeah.
would you argue to use single file, or when will you use that?
Single file is that if you don't want a lot of files there, sometimes if you're copying chunk of files and one gets corrupted, now the whole machine is corrupted. I mean, one file having some crucial data there, and you're copying that over the traveling or over the WAN, maybe it got corrupted when it reached the other side. You may have a copy, but if you don't have a copy and if it gets corrupted, so if one big file that is a packed zipped file, it's a compressed file, so all of it will go or all of it will not go. That's it. It's not divided into chunk of files, right?
What I'm saying is, when would be a single file? Like, if you were to say, play devil's advocate and say single file is better, in what scenario would it be better?
Well, it's about portability here, and WAN connections are very good now. When it was introduced, at that time WAN connection was a big problem. So at that time they said, hey, we're going to divide it into, so the feature is still there, but now I've seen that more people are doing just the one big file, right? Because they can copy over the network. Otherwise it's USB. It's already very good, and it's a single file, so it's much more organized. But although it's also working fine, right? You can go for, so all we need to do is we need to know what are the options. You can go for any one of those, right? So it's okay to go for any one of those. Is it there, right? Okay, so you can choose any one of those as long as we know what they are and why we are doing that, right? So any questions here? Next. So thin provisioning is going on. It's okay even if you put here 200 GB or 500 GB and your local disk is just 50 GB. It's okay. It's thin provisioning, right? The concept should be clear. Next, now don't go for finish. Customize hardware. This is again, the scenario is that we are in the shop and we are still deciding more. Hey, let's just change the network card. Let's just change the sound card. Let's do the display card, whatever. So customize hardware. Let's just go there. Click the customize hardware. Everyone there? So I just clicked this screen, customize hardware, right? Everyone there? So when you click that, now you have those options here. Memory 2 GB, processors 1. For the lab, we're gonna have 5 machines. We are having 5 machines here, and memory of some of the machines is not required to be more, and some of the machines we need a lot of memory. So that whole memory for each machine is coming from where? From just one, those 2 sticks of memory we have inside the physical memory. Physical memory of servers is 24 GB, or total 32, but showing 24. So this means that we must be very careful, and as a VMware admin, that's your job, that your physical memory is used properly by all the virtual machines, and your policies on the virtual machines or on the vCenter are good enough that they are intelligently being used. They're not being overissued to one virtual machine and underissued to another machine, and you're like stuck with that. The machine that really needs it doesn't have a memory, and the machine that doesn't need it is sitting idle with a lot of memory there. So it's a continuous, it's a moving environment. It's like a breathing dragon. So you have to really take care of how much physical memory or chunk of physical memories and processing is being given to one virtual machine, second, third, fourth. They're all using the same physical memory, right? And it's always the case that we keep on improving the memory, adding the memory. Every 6 months we have to add the memory, right, in production environments. So here we're not going to give this machine a lot of memory because it's just authentication, AAA. It's just doing authentication, authorization, accounting. That's all. So processing also, we're just going to keep it to the minimum. For network adapter, so 2 GB and 1 processor is okay, but in next machines we're going to be improving that. So network adapter, if we click that, now there is bridged, NAT, and host only. So bridged is for if you want that server to take part in the physical environment, and we don't want the NetPlus physical environment to be connecting with our private lab here. This is our private lab, right? So even in your production, in your office, if you're creating this environment, or at home, don't go for bridge. Especially in office, don't go for bridge, right? Because it's your office environment. They're going to detect your machine. Hey, whose machine is that, and why are they connected to our network, right? So NAT is network address translation. If you need your virtual machine to have an internet connection, right? We will be using that. Host only is that the virtual machines are talking to each other and just the host, but not to the physical environment, right? And we're going to go for custom, and this is also just VMnet 1 host only, right? Host only, they're talking to each other. We need to have our environment private. They must be talking to each other, and whenever we need internet connection, we're gonna use that. Otherwise, we're not gonna use that, right? So,
I missed on the network.
so you can go here, network.
Oh, we use NAT over.
So click here,
Yeah, I did.
and then go to the right side,
Yeah.
and then VMnet 1. Just click custom. Custom. Yeah. See the board? Oh.
And from there, from the drop down, select the post one. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Like the virtual adapter, VMware one?
Yeah, it's the virtual adapter. So, so this VMware workstation, our lab is based on that. So that's why we have to learn that too. Otherwise, we are going to concentrate more on the server side virtualization. This is the client side software for that, but we are totally depending on that software, right? So that's why I'm explaining all the options here as well. This is going to run our lab. So definitely this is a virtual adapter, and LAN segment is that you can just connect all the machines together and then start and shut down, just like VApp concept there. This is a separate LAN, and also VMnet in your home. When you're trying to install the VMware workstation in your home, you will see a lot of VMnets here. VMnet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 19 VMnets. These are just VLANs. They are totally separate. So if VMnet 1, there are 2 virtual machines with VMnet 1, and there are 2 virtual machines with VMnet 10, suppose. So VMnet 10 machines cannot communicate with VMnet 1 machines. There's just different VMnets or different VLANs, right? So
Difference between second option and the option is selected because the second bullet also says the host only.
yeah, this is the same thing, but I'm just going custom here. But if you choose this,
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Definitely. I'm just choosing that because at home when you do that, you're gonna have a lot of other options. VMnet 1, 2, 3, 4 up to VMnet 19. Then you are go for VMnet 1, VMnet 10, VMnet 11. The main thing here to understand is all 5 virtual machines should be on same VMnet. Must be on the same VMnet to communicate with each other, right? Okay. So here we don't have options, but when you install somewhere else, you're gonna see a lot of options there. So that's why I'm saying let's go for custom and go for.
That's why we could have only one option on all the machines.
Yeah, we need to have any one option, all the machines. Sometimes you put it on NAT, so everyone has to be on NAT, but better to go for custom or host only on, right? So, and all the machines should be on one VMNet. That's the main thing we need to understand here. That otherwise they won't be able to communicate with each other.
Yeah, for this lab only. Yeah,
For this lab only.
yeah only. But we can make them communicate through root.
Yeah, sure. So USB controller, yes, we need that. Sound card, we don't need that, but it's okay. Printer, we may not need that. Adapter. So, yeah, if we remove that, it's okay. If we keep them, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna take a lot of memory here. So, the only change on this page we made was we went to network adapter, we went to custom, and then we clicked host only, right? That's the only change we made. So everyone's clear with that, right? Press OK here, press close here, and now it's already on power on this virtual machine, checked, right? So let's just click finish, right? So the first machine will start, and because we already put or mounted in the DVD Windows 2012, it's gonna start installation of Windows 2012. While this is going on, we can go for the second creation of the second virtual machine, right? Is it started like this? Oh. Press OK and try to access again. Sorry?
Same as you said, I mean the same thing.
Wait.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So. Okay. So one machine is installing, and let me check it out. I will create a new virtual machine. You didn't get a location before, right? I mean, not okay. I'm just going to wait for you. So it's there. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah. That's it. So oh yeah, because it's already there, so go for it. Because somebody else created that already, and every other machine is in it. Next, next. You can just create anyone else, but all the fields should be in Okay guys, if you see that Windows option here, oh, I should have paused it. So, this is kind of a casual class video with all our jokes and all our disruptions all recorded here, non-edited. So, that's something, that you have to bear with. Okay, next. So if you're already there, we can just click next and install now. This is typical Windows installation. Idris, you have ever Windows installation you've done?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Install now, and then the fourth one, which is the data center GUI, right? So it's starting, and we can keep on staring at that. Okay, so if you're on this page, then I'm just going to go over the fourth one. which is data center evaluation. We can go for standard evaluation as well. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we can just stick to any one of the additions of Windows. So data center evaluation and GUI, last one. So everyone selected that?
Yeah.
Last one, let's just go next, right? And that's it, then it's next, finish, right? Just accept the license agreement. Next, we're gonna make it active. Okay, there's that custom install and other, just go for custom, right? If you're on the custom or upgrade, go for custom. We're not partitioning anything here, so on this screen, just click next, right?
Okay, here is my question.
Yeah.
If you are going for partitioning,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to make partitions over to the virtual area that is 100 GB,
Yes, exactly.
not the actual
Not the
hard
physical.
disk.
Yeah. Actual hard disk just
Yeah.
knows it's one
The
file
boundary
called
line.
VMDK,
Yeah, the boundary line.
and we are doing changes inside the VMDK.
Inside. Okay, thanks.
So is it there? Because I think majority of us or all of us are Windows guys, right? So we're gonna be working with you, and I think you already did that, so you're good with it, right? That's good. So okay, this is going on, so let's leave it at that and start simultaneously second machine, third machine, fourth machine, fifth machine. That's the beauty of virtualization, right? So second machine, so while the first machine is going on, let's go to this home icon again, tab. Everyone there on the home tab?
Yeah.
And then go for create virtual machine again, home tab here, right? Home, and then create virtual machine again now. So when we create virtual machine again, we're again going for typical, but be careful guys, stay with me, don't go ahead, next, finish. We're gonna make some changes here, right? On every virtual machine. So next, typical. Yes, we need Windows 2012, so it's already detected there, right? Because we once put it, it remembers that. It's there? Is it? Okay, so next. And then this machine's name is VMVC, right? So VMVC01 for Taha? 01. Okay. So VMVC everyone, and then it creates it in this path folder on the physical disk. This is the path where it created that file, and inside this file will be all the inside this folder will be all the virtual machine files. Okay, next. Again 100 GB, we know the drill now. So, and again it's thin provisioning, so we don't care about that, it's okay. Split virtual disk, it's up to you, we know what's the purpose of that. You can make a single file or a multiple file. If you want to copy that at some time of the course, you want to copy.
Gives an error on my pad.
Yeah. Here, which one? Here? On this page, or
Yeah.
did you change this area?
No.
You just gave the name here, right?
Yeah.
So VMVC01, try to change the name.
Okay.
VMVC01. So guys, anyone, please do not change this area below one, only change the above one, top one, right? So VMVC01, when you change this to 01, it's there, it's good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next, and this is 100 GB, right? So change it, if it's 60, give it 100 GB, right? So, and then next, when you go to customize hardware, again it's VMnet01, right? Idris, you're there? Yeah, it's gonna be it's a little faster, but yeah, let me know what's the issue. Idris? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Okay, good. So customize hardware, and then go for network adapter. So guys, this is our vCenter. Now vCenter needs minimum of 8 GB of memory. So 8 GB memory is required by vCenter. Right now we are not installing vCenter right now. So vCenter would require 2 virtual processors and 8 GB memory. Right now if we keep it to 2 GB, it's okay for us. When we install vCenter, we're gonna change the configurations of this machine. Yeah, so right now if we change that, other virtual machines will say, oh, whoa, where's our memory then if you got, and this is an empty machine right now. So right now we keep it to 2 GB and keep it to 1 processor. At that time when we install vCenter, we're gonna change processor to 2 processors and memory to 8 GB, right? Then we're gonna be actually juggling between our hardware sources and virtual, and that's the main training of VMware admin to really smartly use your hardware resources for the virtual machines, right? So for now, we're just giving this NAT again, the custom VMNet01, right? VMNet1, host only. USB sound card printer displays okay. The only change again we did was that, but later it's not going to be the same. We know that now, right? It's going to be used for vCenter. So if this is done by everyone, let's go ahead, right? Let's go. If this is done, right? Okay, close, finish. Second machine is en route to installation of Windows 2012. And while it is loading, we can start working on the third machine, right, simultaneously. So I'm gonna go to home icon again and go for virtual machine, third virtual machine, right? Everyone there? I don't want you to be confused. If you want to stick with the second machine, it's okay. Otherwise, we can go for the third machine, right? So we're going for the third machine, create new virtual machine here. Typical installation. The name is different, so be with me on this screen. So typical again, everyone there? Next, of course, 2012 is detected here, which is good. Next, now it's VM storage. And only change the top one. If you still get an error, just put 01 in front of VM storage as well. If you get an error, if you don't get an error, it's okay. VM storage 01, okay. Everyone did that? Okay. Next, and again, that's the same drill. 100 GB. Yeah, Idris?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know if there's a problem, right? Next. Customize network adapter. Same thing. Guys, it's not the same thing for the fourth and fifth machine. Those are hypervisors. So that will be a little different now. Actually, just a little different. So if you have selected the network adapter, click close. It's gonna start. Click finish, right? And well, it's also installing the Windows. Now the second machine, which is VMVC. Idris, where are you? Right?
Yeah, started.
Where to go? Where to go? So it's starting. VMVC should be stopped at certain point. Let's just kick it forward. So VMVC, if we go back, it's all for everyone. It's there. Let's just go ahead and we know the selections already. So next, install now. And one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna come. Oh, come on. Okay, there you go. So yes, we know the selection here for VMVC now. It's data center evaluation 2012. Next, last one, and then I accept the license agreement. Next, custom install. We're not making partitions here. One C drive, 100 GB is okay. Next, and there you go. It's installation started. By this time, VM storage might have reached that point, right? So exactly the same options. If VM storage is there, Idris, yeah, and others, yeah.
We go back to.
VMVC.
Okay, I'm still working on VM storage.
VM
still complete.
Okay, that's good.
The same procedure.
Yeah, same procedure, exactly. So the procedure is same. Next, here, install now. We're just pushing ahead the Windows installations, 3 installations, so we could go for the hypervisor installations.
We have 4 versions of 2012. What is the difference like? You can standard.
Yeah, sure. It's this. 2 are core, so there's a standard edition of Windows, which is for small to medium-sized companies, where the large applications are not installed, and standard editions also. In Hyper-V mode, they can have just 2 virtual machines, not more than 2 licensed. And in data center mode, you can have unlimited number of virtual machines there, in unlimited. But in data center edition, so these are the standard graphical interface and standard core editions. Core is just command prompt, and you can only give commands there, right? On the core version, we're going for the graphical version of data center. We can go for standard version of data center, GUI version as well. but we're just sticking with this graphical.
What you were saying is about for the standard evaluation version, we cannot go more than 2.
Yeah, with license as well.
With
Two.
license as well.
Yeah, just 2.
Not more than 2. Okay.
So that's why it's for small to medium size, actually small organizations. But there are some other features that are lesser in quantity, so it's not scalable for big organizations. Big organizations then go for data center edition. With SQL Server, you can install Exchange Server. Some of the advanced features you can use on the data center edition, and not on the standard edition.
Installing the virtual machine inside that computer.
So this Windows 2012 we are installing inside VMware Workstation. So this on top of this Windows 2012, we're just going to install an application, which is vCenter. vCenter is just an application server, just like Exchange Server or.
You can install only 2 virtual machines on top.
Oh yes. So we're not going to do that, but I was just telling you the features of why we're choosing the data center, not choosing standard. Although we're not going to use Hyper-V as well, we're just going for the bigger one. Although we can go for standard here as well in our lab, we can go for standard, it's going to work fine. So data center evaluation, next. License terms, next. It's going a little slower now because 2 machines are already, and then this. Now it's gonna start installation. So everyone, 3 windows are installing, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, right? So let's go for the 4th and 5th now, which is hypervisors. Now we need to be together. If we were going ahead a little, but my recommendation is don't go ahead. Okay, so let's go to home icon again. Now hypervisors, we need to actually be careful a little here. So Windows installation was not that difficult. So again, everyone on home icon, create a new virtual machine again. This will be the 4th virtual machine here, and typical, right? Everyone on typical. So next, now we do not need ISO of 2012 R2. We need the hypervisor of VMware. This virtual machine, again, as we said, that we're pretending that this virtual machine is just like, this wizard is just like we went to the shop and we're buying a server, or we're buying a empty desktop or a server. Now on that empty desktop or a server, we need to install hypervisor, right? In production environments on the server, we directly install hypervisor. We are just now pretending that now, or simulating that now, not pretending, simulating. So let's click browse here and go to that file which will install hypervisor, right? So browse. Do we all see these 4 files here on the software folder? Now VM setup is vCenter on top of Windows. We're not going to use that. We need a hypervisor. Hypervisor talks directly to the hardware, right? So Vmvisor, everyone sees that? Vmvisor, the last one. Yeah, okay, double click that. Double click this one. Do you see ESXi 6 detected? This is very important that you see that. ESXi 6 detected, right? Next. Now this is written on the screen as a virtual name. We can keep the name and -01 like this. -01, so it will be a little different for you, right? So -01 for everyone. If it gives an error, just add something else, 0101, something like that. But -01, right?
In real environment, if we install ESXi on the hardware, the installation is a little bit different than this.
Exactly. It's a little bit different. So you must have a DVD. Suppose it's a new server. So you just put the DVD of the, or USB, through USB you can just do that.
But the ISO should be bootable.
And it has to be, so DVD bootable or USB stick bootable. Exactly. We have an expert here who has done this, who set up the lab as well. So wow. And in other production environments as well. So yes, if it's bootable after that, then whatever is going on here is the same. Right? Same.
Yeah, but if we download ISO from the lab, so we have to create it as a bootable.
No, if the ISO is there and we burn it, it's not bootable. Did you check ESXi 6 or 5.5? It was bootable, or It is always bootable. No, so 5.5 was not. 5.5 was also bootable.
The versions we have here are.
Maybe. Well, the ISO there, it's even 4, even 5 was also bootable.
Yeah, because I installed another software, Rufus, to create it as a. We have to make it as a.
No, but did you test directly first, and it did not boot? Then you tried the. We just downloaded and burned it directly. That's it. It's bootable. Strange, but the version I'm giving here, what we have, this is what we installed there.
What I understand, maybe when you are making a burn up onto the DVD, you have
That's
selected,
not-
you have made it as make a bootable CD or make a bootable
Or
DVD.
just a data
That's
DVD.
why that has been conflicted somehow.
So maybe the burning process had that,
Yeah.
maybe this option is selected for data CD instead
Yeah.
of bootable.
Yeah. He has selected maybe bootable,
Maybe.
which should not be selected. Maybe this is a point of conflict.
Yep.
It's
So, yeah,
unable to
burn it
understand
again.
From where to go.
If you have USB, you can copy our version and just directly burn it, but check your burner, software burner, right? That is okay or not. Like it has the option of making just a data CD. Then it's not going to be bootable. It's going to convert the bootable into non-bootable. Okay, so A601, everyone did that? Okay, next. Now 40 GB is the space. Let's just go for 200. 200, right? Still thin provisioning. So VMware Workstation is one of the perfect ones to go for a VMware lab. Otherwise, in Hyper-V you can also do that. It's also supporting thin provisioning for that. In Hyper-V, if you're having a lab as a client side and installing this lab, there will be a conflict. It's gonna say there is already a hypervisor. It's not gonna let you go ahead with VMware hypervisor being installed inside Hyper-V hypervisor. Microsoft also has a hypervisor. Citrix Zen server is also a hypervisor from Citrix and this VMware, right? So hypervisors, they conflict with each other, rivalry. Okay.
Can you go over that again?
Yeah.
What
So-
did you say?
Yeah, so if you want to, because in your environment you're doing that, then there's a workaround. But in Hyper-V, which is a Microsoft hypervisor, if we try to install ESXi in one of the virtual machines of Hyper-V, if you want to install ESXi, it's gonna say, oh, there's already a hypervisor, I cannot install. It's gonna give you an error there, right? So in your environment, you have your Red Hat hypervisor. So Red Hat is running on top of ESXi server.
Yeah.
And inside the Red Hat, do you have Red Hat's own virtualization also enabled?
I think we're not, probably not.
Because it might conflict there as well. It's going to
Yeah.
detect an hypervisor as well.
Yeah.
All hypervisors don't work if there is another one.
Yeah.
So, okay, but you can try it as a test environment as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 200 everyone. We will need 200 here and because we will be expanding after that because we're going to install virtual machines inside this hypervisor. Inside this, we're going to install virtual machines of its own just to check how it works, and we that's why we need to have more memory and processor. Okay, so 200 GB here next, and customized hardware, that's the same thing. You can see that by default it's selected 4 GB of memory. By default it's selected 2 processors. We never changed that, right? So what we're going to change here, because that's the requirement of ESXi, basic ESXi, right? And later, I'm telling you now that later we're going to be increasing it to 16 GB just for one of our experimentation, which is not experiment, one of our tests or labs, where we're going to be installing the vCenter appliance. So we're going to talk about what is appliance and what is Windows based vCenter. But for that appliance, we're going to be changing the memory as well, ESXi. But right now its defaults are good for us. So network adapter here, let's just go to that custom and VMnet 1. So that's the only change we're doing because we need to communicate with. So let's click close. Everyone did that? Okay, click close and finish. Now that's the hypervisor that has started. Now this is totally different from, of course, Windows, obviously. So let's just go with one of the installations here. Oops, not more, actually less. Everyone is able to see this screen? Okay, if we don't touch it, it's gonna start installation right away, and that's okay, right? Everyone's hypervisor started?
Yeah.
So it's installing like this. Now that's all Linux based, right? Almost forgot. Thank you. So now it has a very small footprint and we cannot use mouse here, right? And this hypervisor, we're pretending, or it's a simulation that we are directly installing it on top of a physical server. It gets installed directly on top of a physical server if you have a bootable DVD or USB, right? After it boots on a physical server, the next all steps are exactly the same. The only thing you need is a physical server and a bootable hypervisor. Bootable hypervisor we have, you can burn it on your DVD, and whenever you have access to a server, or at the end of the course, we're gonna give you the servers. You can have 2 servers and then create an environment that is originally the way we create that in a production environment, right? So here it's just doing some basic loading. Then it's gonna ask for next finish, the keyboard, language, time zone, and password. So while it is still booting, we can go for the 5th one. So let's just go to home icon again. So at least we start the 5th one as well, right? The second hypervisor. So if we go to home icon again and go create a new virtual machine, everyone there? Yeah. So now it is detected already, right? ESXi6 is already seen by everyone? Okay, next we need a second hypervisor as well for high availability and all the advanced labs. So -02 is the name. The naming convention is, yep. Everyone did that? Okay, yep. Idris and others? Okay. Sorry, I'm always asking just Idris, so it for all others as well. But if you need help, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm just following up as well. So 200 is the RAM we're gonna give to every hypervisor. The hypervisor are the building blocks here. Without VMware hypervisor, we have no VMware environment, right? Hypervisors are going to be hosting virtual machines. Virtual machines are going to be hosting the either Windows servers or Linux servers. Yeah. And on those virtual machines, your hundreds or thousands of clients will be communicating with each other. They're going to access those servers. The below environment, they have no idea, they don't care. What is it, a virtual machine or a physical machine? But these hypervisors are the main things that are actually creating the whole vSphere VMware environment, right? So hypervisors, we're going to be really learning good in depth. We're going to do some experimentation on hypervisors directly, then we're going to go for vCenter, right? So we could understand hypervisor first. What is that? So 200 GB is there. Everyone did that? Next. And of course, the same drill, customized hardware. It took 4 GB and 2 processors. It needs that because it's going to be hosting a lot of virtual machines. And those virtual machines will be, hosting an application server. And that application server will have connectivity with hundreds or thousands of clients, right? So we go to custom, we go to VMnet 1 here, NAT and VMnet 1, and click close, right? Same drill. Yeah.
Excuse me. If you are going to press finish and you just realize with your glance that you have misconfigured anything.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it started running up. So can I delete the instance while it's being started, or should I wait for the...
If you wanted to make any changes which you forgot here, you can make them later as well. How? I'm going to show you now.
Yeah, but can
Yeah.
I...
You can delete it as
the
well.
hypervisor?
Yeah, anytime. A hypervisor has to be stopped. It has to be shut down.
Okay.
Then I can show you the option where to delete, and best way to delete is not to click remove. Best way to delete is to delete from disk option.
So
I'm going to show you now.
Just do it later on, yeah?
Yeah. So click finish first, and so this hypervisor started, but I'm going to show you now what we were asking. If you want to delete this, suppose the application or something messed up, so right click this, and if you go to manage here, and this option here, delete from disk, it's grayed out now because machine is started, right? When it's shut down, you can delete from disk, and it's very important that you delete from disk. Otherwise, it's just occupying that disk space for nothing, and your disk space will fill up, even if it's 1 terabyte.
How to stop
Oh, this is power and shutdown gas. That's the proper way to. Never use this power off, guys. Never use power off. Always use shutdown gas because it properly shuts down the machines. Power off is like you just powered
Unplugged
off
it.
physical, unplugged it.
Hard power off.
Yeah, hard power off is not good. It's gonna corrupt the software. So always do this shutdown gas whenever you want that, and you want to delete that, manage and
Okay,
delete from
thanks,
disk.
Thanks.
Welcome. It's in the video as well now. So I'm gonna send you all the video as well. You can just create your home lab there wherever you want. So while this is going on, now what happened to our VMDC? Let's go to the first machine here. So the first machine should be having Windows here. Is it on the password area?
Yeah.
So we have a class password here, and that is small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3. Or you can put that XYZ, small XYZ, capital XYZ, or and shift 1 2 3 as well. So we can go for XYZ because we are all used to it now. You're still loading, right? No, click further inside the environment of the VMware workstation. Maybe it shows now. Just once. If it doesn't show, then it's just still loading. So if this is the area, then XYZ, small XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, right? We already know that password, right? In production environment, you're maintaining 15 or 20 difficult passwords in production environment. So we need to get used to maintaining difficult passwords here. So, and vCenter will make us do that very good. It has a very good password complexity rule. So if you have put that password, this is the same password for your user 1, user 2 account, right? So that's why I'm just putting that XYZ, small XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3. Is it there? It is? Yeah.
I'm just checking my password.
On VMDC. Yeah. VMDC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the so you remember the password, or you can give your own password but keep it exactly the same
I'm gonna
anywhere.
I'm going to use the default one.
Okay. So
one you gave us.
small XYZ. Okay, that's good. So click finish here. Those who have put the password here. So and on VMDC we can log in now. So we can send that Control Alt Delete. So this is the button that sends the Control Alt Delete. Or if you're inside the virtual machine, it's Control Alt Insert on the keyboard if you want to do that. But it's better to go for this three white buttons here, right? To send Control Alt Delete to the internal machines. So do we see that 3 white buttons there?
What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so we gave the password here, right?
Yeah.
After that you click finish.
Yeah.
Now we need to put username password somewhere. So the username password area is not here coming. We need to click these 3 buttons to send Control Alt Delete, and this username password area, this one will come, right?
Okay.
If you press these 3 buttons. Otherwise user password area will not come, right? So we know the password now, and enter the first machine. That's the authentication. That's the Active Directory machine here, right?
Do you log in or?
I logged in, yeah. Yeah. Let's log into our VMDC. We changed the password of VMDC, but now I am logged into VMDC as well. And the password is small XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, right? So everyone logged into VMDC?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's still installation going on?
No, booting up.
Oh, booting up. Okay, cool.
Just
I think it's the final
I
thing.
am just now on the blue screen. First screen, yes.
Okay. The blue screen is kind of a scary in Windows.
Not that one.
Not that blue screen, right? It's okay. I was like, oh, you got a blue screen already? We when it started. So it's the small XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3. Okay. So let me know if everyone's inside the VMDC. Oh, where's the light coming from?
That's my
Oh, sorry. You have a cell phone light?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, the lamp is here to see your keyboard. So, but some students just take the lamp ahead in some other classes.
In the meantime, like if we can go to the VM exercise because that has stopped working now, so that we can just
Exactly. So while everyone is trying to come here, oh, is this here there? Yeah.
I'm just trying to log in.
Okay, sure. So go for ESX. Let's go for ESXi01 and check. Oh, it's there. Is it stopped for everyone? ESXi01. Everyone there? ESXi01. Except for. So the whole NetPlus is, hoping, looking up to Idris. Hey, Idris, we're waiting for it. Okay, so if the password is not working, then we can go for first configure this one. Then I'm gonna come to your machine and we can do that, right? So let's just go for, this is the Linux based one, so you're gonna be like closing your eyes and doing that I know that, come on. So it's ESXi01, right? Let's just click ESXi01 because everyone is there. ESXi01, right? Okay, so click and you should be on this screen. And of course now click inside this screen because if you control Alt, the mouse will come out of this VMware workstation area, right? If you click inside, it's gonna vanish there. So now press enter here, right? Everyone can see that, right? Press enter here. And now, yes, the license agreement, this yellow bar, we can just remove that if we can or not. Okay, so then, okay, it's not showing properly. Now it's showing, right? So everyone is seeing F11? F11 accept and continue. So F11, press that. F11. It's gonna scan for available devices. Okay, everyone sees this screen now. Okay, this screen, right? Yeah, it's so click that first. Click, yeah, and then press. Okay, cool. And F11. Everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then this is just, the location of the disk, disk to install or upgrade. So we're just gonna keep it like that. Later we're gonna find out the location of the disk, the name of the disks. So enter. Now next is the keyboard layout, right? So US default, yes, whatever is the default, just enter that. Everyone there?
Yeah.
And then we go for password. So it's the same password, but if you're not comfortable with that password, just change to some easy password. It's good to have just one password everywhere for the class, right? So XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, and go down XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, right? We're just sticking to the same password. We don't want to miss any password because instead of cracking, then we're gonna have to just recreate the whole environment again, right? Or whatever we missed. So the password changed for everyone. Enter. Oh, yep. So you're there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're already ahead, or
Yeah.
oh, you're on this screen. So now it says install F11, right? If you see this, just go ahead and go for F11. Installing ESXi. So that's the first one. ESXi has started installation of that. So let's go for the second one as well. It's easy one, right? Then we go for the configuration of Windows environment, right? So installation of first one is gone. So everyone on ESXi02. So it also shows continue. Now we know the drill. And F11 for accept and continue. It's pretty straightforward, right? Next, finish, right? So the only hard disk that we have is 200 GB. So we enter. US default for the language, keyboard layout, enter. Password is XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, XYZ, small, capital XYZ, shift 1 2 3, enter. And finally F11, right? We need to have another lamp there. And F11 for install. If both ESXi's are installing now, let them install. Okay, if we visit the first one, yeah, it's gonna install now. So 01, 02 are installing, right, for everyone? Now we can go for, so Idris, both are installing?
The first one.
First one. So let's go to the second one and same thing. Yeah, it's we're going a little fast, we should slow down, right?
That's okay.
So for VMDC, now the two labs, the ESXIs are installing, and we are back to VMDC here. So VMDC, 3 basic tasks. First, rename, give a static IP, activate, right? Then the extra task will be install Active Directory. So 4 major tasks on VMDC, but we're all waiting. The whole NetPlus will wait for Idris. Oh, okay.
How
So
do you release your cursor?
sorry.
My cursor has been seized.
Control Alt.
Control Alt. Yeah, if you release the mouse, you want to release the mouse from VMware Workstation, it's Control Alt,
Okay, I got it.
and you can come back inside, click it, and then release it. Control Alt. So on the VMDC, do we all know how to give a static IP address? No, don't worry, I'm with you. So while we are a little step, 2-3 steps ahead, you can just comfortably at your own pace finish the E602, and we're gonna get static IP. When you're coming there, Idris, I'm gonna be with you, right?
Okay.
So a static IP here, how do we give that? So on server on VMDC, do you see local server here? Everyone sees local server on VMDC? Local server. So let me know if everyone is there.
Just a minute. It's just formatting. It's I don't know why it's been delaying.
It's VMDC, right?
Yeah. I don't know why.
No, but that.
Too much time in making a setup.
What about the other
Finalizing
machines?
your settings.
Oh. What about the other machines?
Other machines are running fine.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And yeah.
Seems okay here, but
Yeah, it's still doing, but
Still
overall
doing,
it's
yeah.
slow. So this machine has not reached that point.
no,
Is
it has reached to a point that
Particularly slow.
yeah, this one is slow, but it's working.
Okay. Which IP is that? IP?
62.
62. 62. Who else is on 62? No one. Okay. 62.
I'm on 61.
Okay, nobody's on 62. Okay. So, oh, you're there on VMDC. Cool. Okay, we're good. So, local server. So, everyone on local server. So, yeah. Okay. We see the Ethernet 0 here, right? So, Idris, you have done the E602. It's okay. I mean,
It's installing.
yeah, like the next finish is done,
Yeah,
right?
everything.
Way to go.
Just waiting for it.
Way to go. So yeah, if it's installing, we will not wait for that. Let's go for VMDC. So you're there? VMDC.
Yeah.
So did you log into that?
I'm trying to log in. The first time I did
Oh.
see.
Yeah. Let me just.
I'll just go to Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's yeah. It's one accelerator and the lamp should have been here. Oh no, it's the wire there. So yeah, if you could point it to the wall. Oh, and it's gonna be in the eyes of the people as well.
To the wall.
To the wall. Towards the wall. Yeah. So this, now you're able to see the keyboard?
Yeah.
Good. Right? Oh, thank you. Okay, guys. So if you're on Ethernet 0 on VMDC, I'm on VMDC now, and the server manager loads itself, right? Automatically loads, and you need to wait for that. If you're there, local server, so click the local server instead of the dashboard, and then we go for Ethernet 0, right? So when we are on Ethernet 0, click this link. Now it takes us to the network connections, and then Ethernet 0, double click again, and then properties, and then
Just a minute.
yeah,
How do you get the login screen?
login screen for this is this the 3 buttons here. Do you see on your left top
Yeah.
where the mouse is shivering on the board? Okay. Oops. Thank you. We're gonna help. So you have the JPG file, you have the static IP addresses.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. So you're logging in now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can uncheck V6 for now on whenever we want to troubleshoot and do the pings and everything. We want the IPv4 address to be coming there. So uncheck V6, double click V4, and go for use the following IP address. Do we know the IP address here? 192.168.200.1. Subnet mask just comes when you press tab. Press tab again, 192.168.200.50 for the imaginary gateway for now. And preferred DNS is 200.1. So it should look like this now, right? Your static IP for the first machine should look like this. Yes, Idris, where are you?
Just get the screen for configuration.
All right.
So local server.
Yeah, click local server.
Yeah.
So we press OK to the first screen. You're on local server, so it's gonna load. Yeah, it's gonna take time. So when we give the static IP address,
Ethernet, where it says Ethernet in the middle.
Ethernet 0. Yeah, see the board?
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Ethernet 0, last one, yeah. This one. Click that.
It's okay. We have a video as well, so Reese is going to repeat the lab as well. Recommended, right?
Yeah.
It's good always, but so we're gonna get used to it. No worries here.
Quick question, are you pricing for the DNS?
Mm-hmm.
Are you using DNS?
Oh yeah. So it's going to be the same. Yeah, because we're gonna install DNS on this machine. Right. Okay, so if this is done, firewall, please turn them off. It is. So it is. See this on the board. Are you on this Ethernet 0?
Yeah.
Then double click this. Are you on properties?
Yeah.
And then did you uncheck V6 here?
You have to uncheck what?
Internet Protocol version 6 TCP.
I just did that.
Okay, and then did you click this and went to properties like this? V4.
Yeah.
Okay. Properties. Click properties.
Yeah.
And the IP addresses are this. IP address, just like JPG.
Okay.
Use this, so click that. And then 192, the IP address is 200.1. That's in the JPG as well. And 255.550.
Okay. The one you sent.
Yeah. Right? So this is the IP address. And then did everyone turn off the firewall? Okay, so the firewall is this. It's also still on the local server because we can configure all the things for this server on the local server area. So click that firewall and go for this. Click and turn off, right? Oh, again, I think I did it fast. So when you're on the firewall area, just turn Windows firewall on or off. Everyone there? Or everyone sees that? So if you don't know where the firewall is, Windows firewall is there in the local server, right? Windows firewall public on is showing there like this. And then turn it off. Is it off for everyone? Let me know if anyone doesn't see that or didn't find that. And then just drag it up a little. Oh, sorry. Okay, there you go. So press OK. And so now firewall is off. It's not showing. So F5 this area, and it's gonna show now. F5 the refresh just shows what changes you made. So static IP given. Idris? Okay, you're giving it, right? So, any help from the students on the, the classmates would be very much appreciated. Thank you, sir. So, we're just renaming the first computer as well. So, renaming first computer, we know the name already. VMDC is the name, right? So, rename but do not restart after renaming it. So, computer name, we click here on the computer name and click change. And VMDC, right? What the name of the virtual machine was VMDC. Now name of the operating system will also be VMDC, right? So when you put the name here like this, everyone knows which place to go to change the name. So I'm just gonna cancel out again, and so in the local server, go to computer name, right? Is everyone there? Yep. Okay. So, and then go for change, and then go for VMDC, right? Press OK, and don't restart. It's gonna tell in the end, press must restart. Yes, we're not gonna restart now. We need to activate the machine to 180 days or 6 months as well, right? It's free 6 months of full features. That's cool. But right now, when you click close, it's going to show this message. Yeah, it's 192, 168, 200.1.
Same thing as
Okay, so restart later. I'm just choosing restart later now, right? Everyone there? Okay. Restart later. And then final thing is activation of this machine. Guys, how will we activate this machine? Add another network card and then putting it on VMnet 8. So first three tasks. Is it renamed? Is static IP given? And firewall is off. So everyone did that?
Is it important for this time zone change as well?
Oh yeah, time zone. Okay, then there's 7 things. Okay. Okay, guys.
What about the remote desktop?
No. For this, no. Guys, are we on Pacific time right now? Pacific time? So we need to be on Eastern. So how do we go there? So we go to the right side of the local server, right? Right side like this. So on the local server, just scroll to the right side. Do you see Pacific time there? So click that and then change time zone like this. Right? So we are not in Pacific, we are in Saskatchewan. Oh, just kidding. Okay, Eastern. So we are in Eastern time, US and Canada. Right? So press OK and press OK. So this means that the time should be also changed. Just trying to give least amount of changes, configuration changes here. So guys, now rename static IP, firewall off, and time change. 4 things are done already, right? Everyone did that, right? Now 5th is activation for 6 months for this virtual machine. That's free activation. Excuse me, free activation here. So at once my battery went down and then up. Okay, so how do we do that? All this Windows machine need to do is connect for 5 seconds to internet. That's all. It will get activated right away, right? So thank you, sir. And it's a firewall and everything. Thank you. So how do we activate, guys? See this. We will be adding a second network card. Now we are all together, right? So we will add a second network card and we're gonna put it to NAT. At once it's gonna give us internet connection. After 5 seconds, we're gonna confirm that 180 days is written there on the desktop. and then we're gonna remove the NAT card again. We don't need that anymore. We don't need internet connection 24/7, right? So how do we do that? Everyone on VMDC?
Yeah.
Everyone on VMDC, right? So can you right click like this on the top on the VMDC white area here, right click and go to settings. Everyone there? If the authentication window opens, click no. If it opens, settings. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. This screen comes.
Yeah.
Everyone, this screen comes. So we just have one network card here, right? We need another network card. So everyone go down to add here. Add. Right? Everyone can see add here. When you click add, this screen opens. And do you see network card here?
It's given me authentication.
Yeah, click no. If you see authentication, click no. Now you should see this screen after clicking no, right? So when you select network card, this is the fourth one. Everyone selected that?
Yeah.
Next. Now we're gonna choose this one, custom and VMnet 8 NAT. Make sure this network card has VMnet 8 NAT. Okay, everyone did that, right? So press OK and close, right? VMnet 8 NAT.
Just a minute.
Yep. So did you click custom, Idris?
Yeah.
And then drop down the menu. Do you see the drop down menu?
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. Cool. Okay. VMnet 8, right? And click finish. Click finish. Second network card is showing here now, and VMnet 8 is showing there now. And then go for press OK. Now internet should be there. And we're just gonna see the proof as well. Oh, wow. We really gotta have SSDs. Okay, so on your right bottom, do you see this? And it says internet access. It should say internet access on the right bottom, beside the clock. Beside the clock, right bottom. Yeah, it says internet access, right? And this bar also opens, which is, yeah, press yes, it's okay. If this bar opens, if you miss this bar, it's okay, it doesn't matter. And then what we need to do is just check if we got activated for 180 days. How do we check that? Minimize this server manager. Minimize this server manager. Do you see this on the top right? Internet option where when you are adding card?
No, at the bottom.
At the bottom? So does this screen shows here yellow triangle? If the yellow triangle is not there, like this, are you able to see that? Oh, it's here, sorry. This one. On. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, the physical one. Okay.
Do you click yes or no?
So, yes. If the bar comes, the blue bar comes, press yes. Guys, how do we check if it is 180 days? Minimize this server manager. Everyone sees how to minimize? Minimize the server manager. Now go again to the clock area, but scroll down. Go again to the clock area. Under the Windows Server 2012 R2, you should be saying 180 days. Seeing, not saying. But you won't see it now. Let's refresh it. Right click like this and refresh, right? When you refresh, do you see 180 days now?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's 181 days. No, that's not good. So delete the machine, start over. Oh, this 181? Okay. Okay, Sunday. Okay, 180 days is there. So our machine got activated for 6 months. Done? Idris?
Yeah.
Way to go, man. So now we do not need VMnet 8 because later it's gonna create problems more than actually solve anything. So let's get rid of our VMnet 8 network card only, not the actual network card, right? So yeah, sure. It's the NAT built into it. The NAT protocol will be activated, NAT, if you select VMnet 8.
Home machine will be always VMnet 8, okay?
Yeah. Home machine, exact same steps. To create your environment again at home, exact same steps. So VMnet 8, go there, at once you will get internet, right? So, okay guys, we need to get rid of it as well, because later it's gonna create confusions for us on the network side. So right click again, VMDC, everyone there. The way we edit it, right click, settings, right? Settings, and then you see VMnet 8 here like this. Everyone sees that, right?
Yeah.
Let's just click remove only once. If you double click the remove, the upper card, the actual card will also go away, right? So just click it once, that we don't want to lose the VMnet 1 card. So click on VMnet 8 only. Is it there?
Yeah.
Okay, VMnet 8, select that and click remove this one, right? Once only. Make sure after removal you still see VMnet 1 card there, right? VMnet 8 should be gone now, right? VMnet 8 should be gone. Is it gone? Okay, press OK. We're done with this machine. Restart it. So restart the guest. So how do we restart? Right click, VMDC, power, and there's that option. Everyone sees that? So right click on top of the VMDC, and then power, and then restart. Oh, not suspend, restart guest. So do not reset, do not power off. These are, for if the machine is frozen, right? Last resort. This is restart guest, it properly restarts it after properly step by step closing all the services, right? Everyone did that?
Yeah.
Restart guest and restart. So do not show this message again, restart again, right? So now, huh? Break again? 2 o'clock, right? And it's Sunday anyway, yeah. We have people waiting outside as well. So yeah, we were very slow today. Okay, not very slow. I mean, maybe too fast, but slow in the case of, previous class, Friday class, we were like, click, 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 click. But we had that, they were also studying with me on all the other courses as well. So we can just call it a day at 2 o'clock and meet again. But we haven't, this is halfway there. We are just halfway there for the basic lab. Or we can give 15 more minutes if you want.
Yeah.
15 only? Okay. So, or you want to go?
We can go until 3 o'clock as scheduled. We can go. Just I need 5 minutes break. Right?
Oh, huh? We are scheduled till 3 o'clock?
Yeah. Yeah, but the subject told me 10 to 3.
Just in case.
Okay, sure.
You can just create a directory from.
Oh yeah, directory and all the software there, right? Sure.
So it is for 2, okay? No
Yeah,
problem.
2. I thought, yeah, it is
I
2.
was expecting 3, that's why I was saying.
Ah.
Musaddiq told me 3.
Hey, how come Musaddiq? Where's Musaddiq? Oh, I'm recording that.
To the same thing, 3 o'clock, but not when Musaddiq, someone else.
Someone else told 3 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to talk to 2 persons.
Yeah.
So 10 to 3?
10 to 3.
10 to 2 has been told to everyone. Because it's Sunday as well.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a family day, but we are already sacrificing, right? So this is just to complete the lab. Can we give 15 minutes more? 1-5? Okay. But it's 2, everyone. I was told to. So, okay, so let's just get going, guys. So at least we can just install the authentication area and member server, and we can configure that. ESXi server also, IP address need to be given only, that's all. So on VMVC, let's just go on VMVC, the second server, right? VMVC, everyone there? So did you give the password already? Okay, XYZ, shift123, XYZ, shift123.
The first one, right?
The second one now.
VC01.
Yeah, VMVC01. So that's the same drill. Give the password and log in. So VMVC, when we give the password and log in, and also for the storage, let's just give the password at least quickly for the storage as well. On typical days of the labs, on the class, it's always from starting minutes, we start click. So we achieve a lot more, and then talk and click. So it's all demo and talk. But today we had the introduction and everything and the server allotment, so we were not able to finish in time anything. We can continue that later as well, because the majority of us have listened for 2 o'clock. So the time for, so let's just go for VMVC and quickly configure that. VMVC, everyone there?
Yeah.
So click that. Okay, so if you're logged into VMVC, all the steps are the same. Turn off the firewall, time zone should be Eastern, and then give the static IP, which is 192.168.200.2, and fourth is activation. Computer name is VMVC, exactly. Fifth one is VMVC. Thank you. So I'm just going for VMVC. Logged in? It is logged in.
Yeah.
VMVC, and then local server. Everything is inside the local server. All the configuration is on local server, right?
Yeah.
So when we go to local server, now first the IP address is there, Ethernet 0. We know that same place, right? Ethernet 0, and then I'm just going there now. Ethernet 0 again. Properties. And 4 here, IPv4, uncheck v6, right? Double click v4, use the following, and then go for 192.168.200.2. The rest are exactly the same, 255.255.0, and default gateway 192.168.200.50, the same as before, and then that preferred DNS 192.168.200.1. right? Preferred DNS is always the same in every machine. Gateway is always the same in every machine. Subnet is always the same, right? Just the top IP address changes. Oh, we know that. Okay, so press OK, right? If it's given. It is. You're able to do that, right? The IP address. Okay. It should look like this. That's all, right? So it should look like this on the board. Okay, so then we can go for all the other things, v4, and just quickly configure the third server as well. But this is all we will be able to do today, I guess. Close, but the basic lab, that's the main thing. We have to have the basic lab ready, right? So VMVC here. So we're just going for firewall off now. Turn off the firewall. Right? And then we go for Eastern time zone. So we have to scroll to the right in the local server, and Pacific time to Eastern time, change time zone. Because NTP or time source will be for the vCenter and ESXi will be our domain controller, so our domain controller time should be good. Press OK here, and then going for the change name. So computer name change, and then go for VMVC here, right? VMVC, press OK, and before restarting we can just go for activation. Everyone activated as well? Hey, that was fast. Everyone knows and remembers the activation process? Okay, so if you refresh it and it's still on VMnet 8, then restart it, then come back, and by that time it will reactivate. Activate, yeah. So VMVC, right click and go to settings, and then go to add the network card, network adapter, next, and then custom vmnet 8. Okay, we know the drill. Finish, press OK, and just waiting for it to. And the third machine also same thing, right? But the third machine name is only different, VM storage, right? So I'm just going for confirmation of internet connection, and then going for minimizing the server manager. Press yes, and then right click and refresh that, so it should be 180 days. Okay, it's not, it did not show up. I think I refreshed too quickly. Should have waited 10 seconds or, oh, it's there now. Okay, it's there now. Yeah, there is, you were saying?
The network configuration. On the DNS side, you only need one IP address.
Yeah, on the preferred DNS, it's always 200.1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 200.1
Okay.
on all machines, even on hypervisors. Because DNS is only one, and we plan to install it on VMDC, right?
Yeah.
So, just restarting the machine. Going for the VM storage now, right? So, it's the same drill, just the name is different, VM storage, right? Everyone gets the steps. I'm going for the VM storage machine now, but let me know who is at what step and I can help him.
How to disable the firewall?
Yep. So VMVC. I'm just gonna go back to any other machines and show that. Oops. It's
Oh, I got it.
okay. Cool. Logging into the second machine as well. Logging into the third machine, VM storage. So firewall and time zone plus activation. So we got it. So on third machine also, if anyone is stuck somewhere or wants to know the next step, please ask me or ask the guys sitting beside you, or dial 911. Oh no, don't 911. Okay. So Ethernet 0 for the VM storage. Properties. Uncheck V6, double click V4. 192.168.200.3. Oops. Gateway 200.50. Yes, sir. One 192.168.200.1. So IP on the VM storage is also done now.
See, how are you?
Okay. Now somebody was greeting somebody. And then renaming the third machine now. Change VM storage. Press OK. So who has done 3 machines all? Oh, that's too fast, man. Okay, yeah, you were saying? No, we're with you. Don't worry.
Okay, after changing the local time, what's the next step?
Next step is, did you change the machine name?
No.
Okay. So and you're on VMVC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you see this local server here? Computer name on the board. Computer name. Here, local server.
Computer name, yeah.
Okay, click that.
Yeah.
And then change.
Yeah.
Change. and then do you see the name area here, computer name? Then just change it to VMVC. I'm on third one, but you can just put VMVC.
Mine says 01. Connection
Yep,
is
01 is good.
And that's it.
Press OK, OK, close. But when it says restart, just choose restart later, right? Okay. So third machine also. Oh, I did not turn off the firewall. Yes. Then you have to activate the machine as well.
Okay, after changing the name.
Yeah. Did you change the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I choose restart later.
Yeah, restart later. Choose restart later. Now you have to activate the machine. So you have to add the second network card here, like this on top. So right click on VMVC. Go to settings. Add. Settings. Add.
Yeah. And network card.
Yeah. Add network card. Network adapter.
Next.
Next. Custom VMnet 8. You know that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Select finish, right? And then wait for 10 seconds and just confirm by minimizing the server manager here, and then just refresh the desktop, right? Okay, VMware storage is there as well, VMVC. And so did you add the network card?
Yeah.
Okay. While it is waiting for the machine to be activated, right? Let's go for ESXi01 and configure those two as well, right? So let's go for ESXi. VM storage is still left, but it's the same steps. But let's just go together. ESXi01. So everyone on ESXi01. So you should be seeing this reboot now, right? Everyone seeing that?
After.
Yeah. So just press enter. You're seeing this screen on ESXi01, everyone? So if this screen is there, press enter. It's going to reboot, right? Actually, that's going to take time. So ESXi02, let's go there and reboot that too. On ESXi02 and 1, it's waiting to be rebooted. So enter. And now it's going to do the final restart, which is going to take time. And I93s can do the VM storage. Yes. Okay. So
F12 to restart reboot.
yeah. F12. No. Press enter or F12. Yeah. So just restart those machines, and well, there's still requirement of Active Directory installation, but now half of the class is set at 3 o'clock, and actually majority of the class is on 2 o'clock set. So mentally we're set on 2 and 3. So we're kind of having a huh? It's okay. Let's oh yeah, that's good. So let's just go to till 2:30 and finish it, right? So not 3, not 2, but then that's decided for the next. If you want to still make it 2, but you want to add an hour, we can come at 9 o'clock as well. But everyone has to agree to that, right? If anyone is not agreeing, we cannot do that, right? Or we can just take that guy out of the academy and give coffee and Timbits for that guy, right? Who cannot make it at 9. God, I didn't say beat him up. So, okay, guys, let's just at least finish the basic lab. So, VM storage, yes, sir. Who is left with the VM storage other than me and Idris? Who else is left? No one is. Everyone has done VM storage as well. VM storage, third machine, right? Okay, so it's on ESXi01. We are already on. Okay, ESXi01. If it's on this screen, we are ready to configure ESXi01. So please check your ESXi01 if it has restarted and reached this screen. This is DCUI, Direct Console User Interface. So everyone has reached that DCUI on ESXi01?
I was there, then I rebooted again.
Oh, okay, you were there already.
Yeah,
So it might be there by now.
yeah, it's back again.
Okay, so everyone, this screen, let's just quickly configure ESXi01. Let's touch ESXi01 as well today, this lab. So how do we do that? First of all, we click to enter the VMware workstation area. So click on this, and the second thing is press F2. So first thing is click inside and press F2. When you press F2, does the password area comes in? Credentials. You got the root password there already. Just go for the root username. Just go for the password. So XYZ, capital XYZ, shift 1 to 3, right? Hey, that's your area. Now we will all be falling behind, and you know, Idris will be done already. Yeah, come on, Teach. I'm waiting for you. So, okay. So if everyone's inside, there's the configure management network for the hypervisor, and on right side you can see the IP address there, and then the restart management network. If you have installed or configured properly everything, then we can restart. Test management network, if you have configured it properly, we can test it as well. And network restore options, we can save it and restore it as well. So let's just go inside the configure management network. Everyone there? Let's click enter on this screen, configure management network. Once you're inside, you can see all these options, but let's just go for IPv4 directly, right? Everyone on IPv4? Okay, press enter here, and now you see this screen. We don't want to use the dynamic address which is already given to us, and it's not on our DHCP, of course. It's the NetPlus router, DSL router DHCP, right? That's giving us 192.168 and the random address, right? So let's just go by using the keyboard keys, and first you're on top of this and press spacebar here like this. So the dot should be on use static, right? Everyone there? And then just go to the IP address and press the right key on the keyboard, and backspace should just remove that, or just put the IP address which is 200.4. For ESXi04, we decided to have 200.4 as the IP address. 255.255 is okay, but then press the keyboard arrow, down arrow key, and go for the default gateway, right? 192.168.200.50 is the gateway, right? So now your screen should look like this. So if it's duty done, right? Everyone there? Okay, so press OK here. If you're done, press OK here, and you should be back to this screen. IPv4 configuration, right? Press OK here. Now the second configuration, we're not going for IPv6, and we're going for DNS configuration here, right? DNS configuration, do we know our DNS IP address? Which is 200.1, right? So DNS configuration, press enter. So for any configuration you can press escape and go back, right? So I have entered now DNS configuration, and right arrow key on the keyboard, right arrow key, and go back and just remove it to 200.1. But not only this, we have to stay inside the DNS. The IP address is given. Now we need to go to the host name. We renamed our Windows machine. We need to rename our ESXi hypervisor as well, and that is ESXi01, right? ESXi01, right? So the DNS screen should look like this. So everyone there on this screen? Yes. Oh, thank you, sir. ESXi01. Oh, thanks. Yes, everyone there? Okay, so Idris, were you able to go there? Yeah, let me know. It's okay. So ESXi01, your DNS screen should be looking like this after the IP address is there, right? He's on. You're on DNS.
And basically on the
Yeah. Way to go, man. You're like a Lamborghini now. Okay, so press escape if you're done there. But I need to show Idris this. ESXi01. It should look like this, right? The DNS. Okay. So ESXi01, and this has to be exactly the same, guys. Otherwise, we're gonna have problems. So escape now. So the last one is custom DNS suffix. Very important. So first DNS configuration. I can show it back if anyone is there. I can show it back as well, right? So custom DNS suffix, very important. We haven't even installed our Active Directory domain yet. We're gonna visit this area anyway. We already plan to install and we know what the domain name will be, but we're gonna configure it already here. So custom DNS suffixes, press enter, and it's asking, hey, do you want to be part of certain namespace? And we're planning to install Active Directory domain by the name of Vmware domain.local, right? That will be our Active Directory domain name. But we can just put that suffix here, so this client can also. So which DNS done? I can show you the DNS. You're on this screen?
Yeah, well, I left the DNS. I'll go back there.
Okay. So, oops. So I'm on this custom DNS, right?
Yeah.
You're there. So enter. We plan to install Active Directory domain by the name of VMware domain.local. Make sure the spellings are correct. VMware domain, one word, .local. This is what this hypervisor will be communicating with our Active Directory domain with this suffix, right? So VMware domain .local, right? It's not case sensitive, but I can just, for the spellings, I'm just gonna put the D here capital and for V here capital, just for the spellings to be clearer. Okay, so VMware domain.local, everyone there? So this is crucial for our next steps. So we don't have to visit it again here for that, but once we install the Active Directory domain, then only we come here to do just this step, right? But we're doing it in advance. So I'm just letting you know that it's in advance. Right now, we don't have that set up. Okay, if that is done, press escape, and our configuration for ESXi for now is done. The basic configuration of ESXi, but
Can we just go to the...
yeah, see the DNS address?
Yeah.
Why you have press escape for DNS suffix?
Did I press escape? Oh, serious. Press OK for that. And for DNS also, I was showing back again, so I press escape. That's why the configuration is still the same. We have to press OK. Sorry, guys. Press OK. So if you go back now, escape. If you escaped out of it, it's not saved. Press OK. We'll save it. Thank you. Good point. So that's why my DNS is still wrong, because I press escape instead of press OK. So 200.1 is my DNS, and the local hostname is ESXi01, right? And press OK. So you saw that? The DNS configuration? There is?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So press OK. Sorry about that. And custom DNS suffixes. So there you go. It's not configured. Cool. Not cool. Okay. VMware.
Did you put anything on the alternative side?
No. There's no alternate DNS.
And the local, the host name stays the same?
ESXi01.
Oh,
ESXi01. So press enter there, and so this is a configuration of the ESXi01. But now we have to press escape actually. Then it's gonna say, hey, do you want to save it or not? So once the configuration is perfect, when you press escape now it says confirm management network, apply changes, and then you just have to press Y here on this stage, right? Once you're done with all the configurations, press Y, press escape, and then press Y. So now the configuration here is okay, and you can see on the right side now that 200.4 is showing there, right? Now this is the same configuration for ESXi02 as well. Of course, the name and IP has to be different. So let's go for ESXi02 and do that configuration there as well. Anyone falling behind, let me know. Right? So let's go to ESXi02 and press F2 there as well. And the password is is XYZ123, enter. Right? And then we go to the network side, configure management network for ESXi, just like the last time. Once we are inside the configure management network, ESXi2, let me know if you're falling behind or you're on any previous step. Let me know. So configure management network, right? Enter, and then go for IPv4 configuration like this, and then we just down arrow key to set static IP address. The static IP address of the second machine is second ESXi server is 200.5 exactly, and gateway always remains the same, 50. And press OK here. Going for DNS configuration exactly the same, but the name, localhost name will be different, ESXi02 now, right? So DNS configuration 200.1, and the host is ESXi02. Enter, press OK. That was quick, but let me know if you're if you're a little behind. Please don't be shy to ask that. VMware DNS suffix is VMware domain.local. That is it. Press OK. If you have done all those configurations, press escape. Yes for restart of the management network, and the configuration for the Hyper-V is also okay, right? So we are still remaining with Active Directory installation. We're still remaining with the two machines joining to the domain, and then we're gonna go for hypervisor testing by remotely connecting to the hypervisor, creating virtual machines, creating local storage. We're gonna work on local storage first, then we're gonna create our own remote storage, then we're gonna start creating our actual vCenter and everything, right? So everything is from scratch, and hypervisor has to be first understood, right, before we go for vCenter. If you don't know hypervisor, then vCenter, when we go there, we're not going to understand a lot of things there. So we're going to go local on hypervisor, both hypervisors. In next class now, we will have to create, and we can decide the timing as well. If everyone agrees with 9 o'clock till 2, 9 till 2, right? If everyone agrees, there's no forcing, but everyone has to agree, everyone, right? You okay with 9? 9, Mr. Reese.
Yeah.
Where to go, sir?
Yeah. Hypervisor on the
Yeah.
02 is
ESXi02. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, Mr. Zulkarnain.
Yeah.
9 is okay. Kinda. Paka. Okay. So yes, Murthy.
Yeah.
9. Oh, and Brad. This guy is 9. Okay, guys. So I will have to ask. Oh, the outside guy. Okay, we have to tell him. 9 has been decided.
Can you give me the name of the domain again?
Yeah, sure. It's VMware domain.local. VMware domain.local. So guys, you're gonna get that video in your Gmail. There will be a Google group created, and I'm gonna add your. I'm gonna forcefully add you. So there's an option there. Just add you. There will be no request coming to you. You're gonna be added, and then the Dropbox link to download this video, which we created today, right? And it's the course is of benefit if you are repeating the labs. It's of no benefit if that's the only time you're touching the lab, right? So, if you don't have hardware, just plan it and get it as soon as possible for your own benefit, right? So I'm stopping the video here.